They just, you just have just men who don't believe any of that. They just, yeah, we should have multiple women. And so my question is, there's men who say that, but do they really live a lifestyle that can sustain multiple women? Do you make enough money to support multiple households if you have children by both women? Are you emotionally available and emotionally intelligent enough to sustain a whole relationship, not just a sexual one, not just a financial one, but an all-encompassing relationship with more than one woman? Because trying to fill two cups from one is a lot. And so, but when you have women who want all of you, you have more than one woman who wants all of you, are you really capable of providing that? So it's really cute to say, yeah, we're meant to have more than one because of how the mechanics of sex, and we're just predators and whatever else you want to say. But can you really sustain two women is my question. And that is it.
All right. So that is what you would call, like you said, your Mike Lowry stage. You don't think men should be in that stage past what age?
I wouldn't give it an age, because I can understand a man, I know a man that I dated who got married young, and when he got a divorce, he was on the other side of 35. He didn't have that stage, but when he got divorced, I would have understood if he did, because like he got married like almost straight out of high school. So he never, so I feel like I give credence for people to live, to enter into different stages, however their life, whatever their life journey is. I don't say you should only be there from 20 to 25. Like, ideally, yeah, but different people live different lives that take them into different places. So I just don't think it should be a long lasting thing. So the old man might be married for 50 years and his wife might die, and then he might enter a Mike Lowry stage because he don't want to commit to nobody else because that was the love of his life. Whatever.
Go ahead, Pope. Go ahead, man. You muted,
You
bro.
muted.
That better?
There you go.
Yeah.
I would just like to set one quick ground rule, because when she mentions the Mike Lowry stage, then she also mentions all these different, it depends on this and that. It could be a certain age. So let's just all agree that the Mike Lowry of the world, I mean, maybe sometimes there's dogs out there. These dudes are just dogs. Mm-hmm. We get that part. I'm not here to talk about dogs. I'm not here to talk about a dude that just never plans on getting right. He's just going to do his thing no matter what. I'm not talking about that guy. I'm not talking about Mike Lowry's. I'm talking about men that are good dudes, but even if they are in a relationship or something, especially in their 20s or their 30s, they have a hankering for other women. They actually have a desire for other women. Or they may be in their 30s and they may be single, but they want to date and be with multiple women. But I'm saying that these are good guys, really. Not no Mike Lowry, not no dog dude. Just he's
Can
a
you
good
clarify?
Dude.
Can you clarify what you mean? What do you mean by hankering? Like, what, when you have a desire for other women, in what way? What are you desiring of a woman when you desire her?
He wants to.
When you already have a wife or whatever at home. It's just sexual?
Yes, he has an eye for another woman. Like he's looking at other women. He may want to have a one night stand, or he may want to have a rendezvous or whatever. But he's looking at other women, multiple women. But
okay. And so I want to be clear. That's not even polygamy or polyamory. Not that I am a expert on those things, because I don't believe in them myself. But to me, though, at least polygamy and polyamory is still agreements against all consenting adults. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you go and have a one night stand and you have a wife, that's still like, you still dipping out. You still are not being honest.
I'm just trying to establish some ground rules. So let's go with whether it's a polygamy relationship or it's not. Because at the end of the day, when a man cheats and they're with somebody, if you've been cheated on and you stay with them, you're in a polygamy relationship anyway. You're just not willing to be in it. So all I'm trying to say is this guy just requires multiple women. He just has a desire for some other woman sometimes. And now whether he wants to have a polygamy relationship and he agrees on it, that's one thing, or he's in a relationship and he is cheating. But either way, he really wants multiple women. He desires multiple women.
Yeah, I mean, some dudes are just like that. Go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
I was gonna pass it to just because we had a little bit of conversation earlier. I would like to pass it to Ashley because to me that sounds like a problem with self-control.
I was just waiting.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I did watch part 1 of this, and if I'm getting the name correct, what's the guy name? Jones. What's his name?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Oh, Jesse.
Jesse.
Shout out to my man Jesse.
Yes. Jesse spoke a lot about men needing to fill a void. And when I hear Marian speak and she speaks about a cup, because that's what I think about. I think about this cup. And it's like, what is happiness? How do we determine happiness? What does happiness mean? To me, happiness is fulfillment. So if I got a cup, my own cup, and my cup is filled and there's no hole at the bottom, I don't need multiple people to try to fill my cup. If my cup got a hole at the bottom because there's a void, then multiple people is going to keep filling that cup and it's going to keep draining. And it's going to keep draining because there's a void there. There's something that's empty there. And so if somebody is looking for multiple, what are you looking for in these multiple women is my question. Are you looking for fulfillment out of each woman? Like, what are you looking for in multiple women? Hold on just a second, my baby crying.
That's all good.
Oh, Lily.
So, is that a question that we should ask right now? What are we looking for in multiple women?
Yes, because when I asked Poke that, I feel like he said it was just a sexual hankering. But please correct me if I'm wrong.
All right, let me clarify real quick. In at least 2022, but in my experience and in most men experience that I speak with, men are looking for two things, and that's peace and happiness. And we are not finding peace and happiness with women. So a lot of times when men are with other women, yeah, it may look like just a sexual thing, but really they're looking for some peace and happiness from a woman. They are loyal to the woman that they're with. They want to stay with this woman. They do love this woman, but this woman does not provide peace and happiness. And that really, really is an ongoing thing. Most men, we just want some peace and some damn happiness. If we can't get it at home, then we may seek it elsewhere.
So I guess the question will be after that is, well, go ahead, Jalila.
Okay, peace, I get that, because even as a woman, like, that's not gender-based. As a woman, I want whoever I'm dealing with to be peaceful and to be bringing me peace. But as far as happiness goes, no one can bring that to you. I'm sorry. That's an inside job. So if you're feeling unhappy, it's not because of the other person. It's something that you haven't realized is lacking within you, something that you need to hone in on, focus on, center on, all of that, because life has taught me that no one can provide happiness for you. They can be showering you with gifts, time, attention, all of that. But if you're just unhappy internally, that's just what you're going to feel. I can agree with the peace factor, but happiness is your job.
Which means that hole at the bottom of the cup is just going to keep draining.
Absolutely.
So what is it within you that is not happy with yourself that you now have to go seek that in so many different women?
I would generally agree with that, because for the most part, happiness does need to come from you. I generally agree with that. However, peace is the one thing that will always affect your happiness. If you don't have a peaceful home, you cannot be happy. Impossible. That's not something that can come from you. If your partner is not a peaceful person, if your partner always argues, if your partner is always mad and upset, if your partner is a warmonger, you're never going to be happy. Period. Point blank.
So at what
So
point
it
does the
sounds like
man start having his own self-worth, self-respect, to where he makes a decision to exit the relationship that is no
That was my
longer peaceful?
question.
Well, he doesn't.
When
Yes.
does the man
Yes.
make the decision for himself? He doesn't wait on a woman to make it for the decision for him. When does the man make the decision for himself to exit the relationship that is no longer healthy and beneficial for him?
What you're really asking me is, when will a man make a decision that will make me not get hurt? The man is going to do what the man want to do.
No matter what.
If I want to keep this woman, I'm going to keep her. If this is my family, I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to come.
Why do you want to keep that?
Because it may be a family, or you're married. One thing that most men will not do, once men decide to get married, it's going to be hard to get them to divorce you. Usually 80% of all divorces is filed by the woman, because once a man makes that decision to go ahead and get married, they're going to go ahead and stick in there. But if it ain't a peaceful situation, a man will go out there and seek peace other places. But as far as looking out for you, I'm going to make this great decision just so you won't be hurt. Nah, that might not happen.
First
So
off,
question.
my thing is always, because we see a lot of women who are in certain abusive situations or whatever the case is, and everybody like, well, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? So do y'all think it's just so simple for a man because he's not so happy in this relationship just to be like, you know what, I'm out of here. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Especially like you said, if you got kids and all that type of stuff, you're just supposed to hop up and just listen. I'm not happy. I'm leaving.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because physical abuse and mental and financial abuse is not the same thing as having a nagging wife. Like, you can leave, and actually staying for the kids is not good for the children. Having them watch y'all be miserable day in and day out is not good for them. So yeah,
But
I don't want to hear that. Oh, it's because we're
like
family.
that. I think that
And
men
then-
and women both have a struggle in knowing when it's time to leave. Because
Absolutely.
for
That's
whatever
true.
reason, we don't give men enough credit in having their own decision to just leave. We don't.
If we do make that decision for ourselves, a lot of times is, damn, you ain't shit. You left
or
your
you done
family
abandoned
for
your
another
family.
for another woman.
Right.
That's not
Black
what y'all would
women
say.
don't
Though
create
y'all
the
wouldn't say
space
that.
for.
Yeah. Women would not say he left his family for another woman. Y'all know exactly what he's going to say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to use a lot of cuss words. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just feel like we don't get that courtesy of us not being happy and we just going to leave.
Right.
Because we get talked bad about.
I agree.
Bad about regardless.
Okay,
Wow.
so then when
Talk
you're
I don't care about that part though.
What do you mean we're going to be talked bad about regardless? And I just want to let everybody know Candoria Ligier has finally
Hey,
joined
y'all.
us. She's been off for a
Hey.
couple
Hey, girl.
shows. So it's good to have her back on the show. She did not participate in part one of this. So she's going to do the second part, which is majority women and how they feel. And me and Pope going to try to hold it down. But anyway, like I said, what you mean we're going to get talked bad about regardless?
I mean, you say, oh, they're gonna look at you and say, oh, you ain't shit. They're gonna say that anyway. If you leave,
but I think again, there's levels to not being shit. And if we just leave our family, that's different than the shit y'all gonna talk because we stepped out on y'all.
break up, you can still be a father to your children if that's the case.
Thank you.
You have to no longer.
Yeah.
Hold on. Depending on the type of woman that she is, she's just going to let your life be normal and not try to raise hell in your life.
But then that doesn't.
Because a lot of y'all do that.
Her
Oh,
not.
I left. So you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to make it hell for you to see your kids.
She can
Oh,
do
just
that.
go to court.
Well, you
Act
already-
like motherfucking going to court is just that
That's
simple.
why you out seeking peace.
That's like what?
right.
You're already in hell according to you. That's why you out seeking peace.
Okay, so
Exactly.
if I'm leaving to seek peace and I still have to deal with hell,
You're
shit.
doing it anyway.
How? Okay, well, the hell that I'm dealing with shouldn't have to be I can't see my kid, or I have to only see my kids when you say so because you're mad I left you.
It doesn't have to be like
But
that.
a lot of times it is.
A lot of times it's not.
Okay, but why should it be that way anyways? If
I'm
I'm leaving,
It should never be that way.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Y'all want a man to leave because he's unhappy, and if he has to think in his mind, if I leave, I may have to deal with this, which may be worse than what I'm dealing with, and just hearing you nag and all of this other shit. Me not get, you know what I'm saying?
And
so
then
like
how do you
really
even expect
stuck
to
between a
ever
rock
have
and a hard place?
home? How do you expect to ever have a peaceful home when you're doing outside extracurricular activities?
Well, I'm probably doing extra outside curricular activity because I don't want to be here anymore. Possibly.
Okay, so but in that
exactly.
case, if you're stepping out because home's not peaceful, if you're not being honest and truthful about you seeking peace elsewhere, do you think when this woman at home finds out that you're doing that, that home is going to magically become more peaceful? No, it's going to become a bigger hell. And then what?
Okay, so what do we do? What do we do as men?
Leave. And then the reason
why you
deal with the woman
you need to leave
issues when you leave, and you talking about the kids and everything else, because now you've hurt the woman. Now you've hurt her. So now I have to deal with what it looks like to deal with a hurt woman, when you could have been honest from the gate and said, look, I'm just not happy. Let's sit down as adults. Let's sit down as parents. And let's figure out what we need to do in the best interest of our child.
And that's where I was just about to go.
Too,
but it's going to hurt less than.
Exactly.
Depending
and it's going to come with a level of
respect. A certain way, because if we don't have an agreement that, okay, we're in an open relationship, so I know that you're doing you, whatever. If I think deep down in my mind we are in a committed, just me and you one-on-one, ain't no outside nothing. If I find out just because we going through some rough times that you stepping out, that's gonna hurt way worse than you being like, listen, this ain't working out no more. I'm no longer happy. I think we need to go separate ways. Yeah, that's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna hurt as much as me finding out you lying, you sleeping around, you doing this, that, and the third. If that's what I'm expecting out of you.
I feel like this goes back to a point that I raised last time, which was we in our generation and our today's society do not put enough work into the relationships that we have, be it marriage or otherwise. We are so quick to just cast it aside. We are so quick to step outside and do extracurriculars instead of doing the work. First of all, doing the work beforehand, especially when you're talking about marriage. There's so much pre-work to be done, but also doing the work while you're together. Or what is y'all communication like? It sounds like it's trash. Like, what is she doing that's not peaceful?
When you just by yourself? Doing the work before you even enter a relationship, doing the work before you even enter the phase of marriage. So then now I know what my communication style is. I know what my triggers are. I know how to now approach whatever we may go through. I now know how to approach that differently because I've done some work on myself. Not meaning that once you end something with somebody, it's not just other things that pop up and you gotta, y'all have to work through those things together. But it's an individual level of work that is just all yours. It has
as an individual, how do you work? Because it seems like a lot of things that you were saying you have to work on by the trial and error of being with somebody else.
Not always. There's work to do. The work to be done.
Like what?
Relationships highlight.
It involves knowing yourself.
Of your work, yeah. Relationships highlight the pieces of the work that you haven't been able to identify by yourself. I can work on Ashley all day long. I can work on what Ashley likes and dislikes, what makes Ashley upset, how Ashley can better respond to the things that she's able to identify that triggers her. But once I'm in relationship with somebody, it may be stuff that come up from my childhood that I done seen that happen in relationships with other people that now affect me, but I didn't know they were going to affect me while I was by myself until I got in relationship with somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
like if I've never seen healthy relationship as a child, and now I go into relationship thinking what I seen was normal, I'm now in relationship normalizing the dysfunction that I've seen as a child. I'm not able to identify that when I'm just by myself, because I'm just out here, I'm by myself. You know what I mean? But now I'm in relationship with somebody and I'm just going off of what I seen. I'm going off of what I know.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what we all do. You know what I mean? You go into relationships based on the experiences that you had through life. No?
Yeah, but you have to do the work of assessing. It's a self-assessment. Are the things that I experienced and witnessed the most healthy that, examples that I can use? Or is there a better way? Like, you have to go and do like self-reflection before you bring somebody else into your situation. So matter of fact, I just saw a reel yesterday where this Hispanic woman was saying how she almost passed up on her husband because he came at her a peaceful way. They would have an issue and he would say, hey, let's talk about it. He wouldn't get all crazy and all that. And she said she mistook that as he didn't fight for their love. But she realized later on that it was because she was just used to so much toxicity and chaos when she was growing up. She thought that's what love was supposed to look like. And she had to learn that no, like love looks like sitting down, talking it out, and figuring out what the issue is in a peaceful manner.
Okay, so I get all of that, but even back to because I think we got a little off, just a little bit. But wow, I think I said in the last video too. Why is it there has to be some kind of trauma or something that this man is dealing with of why he likes his picks? You know what I'm saying? He chooses what he wants. He's not tied down to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He's 35-year-old man. What?
Me personally, I don't think it has to be trauma, but
why does it have to be anything wrong with him at all?
I mean, I just feel like it depends on how you're going about it. Now, if you are being a man and you are vocally saying like, hey, look, you ain't the only one I'm sleeping with. You feel me? You cool. We can kick it from time to time, but this ain't it. Like you feel me? I like you. We have fun together, but I'm still messing around with somebody else. Then okay, I can feel that. But a lot of times that's not the case and they're being misleading. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to trick this person and I want to trick that person. And I have experienced myself and I have men tell me themselves, like, I have self-sabotaged things because I felt like this person was just too good to me, or like, this is too good to be true, or I don't have anything. Why would she want me? You know what I'm saying? And not that she did anything wrong or he felt like she ain't like him or didn't care about him or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, me personally, I don't know why that would be, but I know for a fact that does happen. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That happens.
I can't say,
I always say,
I can't say why that would be, you know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact that does happen. And I mean, hell, maybe women do it too. I don't know. But I have seen it. So in that case, I wouldn't say that all men fit in that box. You know what I'm saying? But that is the case for some. That is the case for some.
I don't know if you guys know who Don't Call Me White Girl is. She has a podcast. She used to be on Million Girls Worth of Game. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Well, she did an episode she was on Lip Service, Angela Yee's Lip Service. And she talked about how, I think she was married twice or engaged twice, some shit like that, but she cheated. And basically her reasoning behind it was because she didn't want basically to have a one-up on her. So she was like, fuck it, I'm gonna cheat first. So when he does do it, I'm not so hurt. But now that's kind of fucked up if these men are really, really good men and they didn't do anything to you at all for you to believe that they were doing X, Y, and Z. And you didn't just went out and cheated on them because of, I guess, your insecurity.
I mean,
I would say that she needs a therapist.
Yeah, I agree that is fucked up. But men do it all the time. And I don't hear you saying that's fucked up.
I'm just saying.
Do it, but not fucked up.
Listen, I brought up a specific situation. Why I gotta be men don't? Ain't
I
you don't
feel
never know
like
them.
What's good for the goose should be good for
Wait a minute.
God
Wait,
damn.
because that's all y'all did. That's all y'all did last episode was saying, but if women would have done this, if women would have did this, men can't do no. So don't even try that, Marcus.
I feel like be honest with me and let me know what your plan is so you can give me the choice to decide if I want to continue to mingle with your mingling. And I feel like a lot of the times dudes don't do that simply because a lot of men, even when they want to mess with multiple women, they want to be the only man that woman is messing with. So they make you feel like you're the only one, because even though they're stepping out on you and whoever else, they don't want you stepping out as well. And that's when I call bullshit. Flag on the play. Like, no.
All right, Alana, you've been pretty quiet down there. You got anything that you want to say about this?
I mean, you guys have said a lot. I think the way I think about it, I don't think that a man is wrong for being with multiple women. I don't think anybody is, because I think, like, I'm very much so in I believe in like people expressing their like sexual liberation however they need to.
So you basically have a completely different opinion than most women.
That's not true.
I don't know if that's
multiple people. Just be honest.
I just know my own opinion. I think that as humanity we have to evolve. I don't think that things are just that black and white or that simple. I think that oftentimes I don't even know if it's like a thing of peace. I think as we evolve in different relationships, people understand that there's only so much you can get from one person. And I think that the reason oftentimes cheating and infidelity and things like that happen in dishonesty is because people are not realistic about what they can get out of a relationship. You can have the best partner in the world. They're not going to like meet every one of your needs 100%. That's just not how we're all created. And if a person is not mature enough to handle that, they probably shouldn't be in a relationship. But also on the flip side, there are also those who understand that they can get their needs met by multiple people. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think they need to be honest, of course. But if a person, a man, a woman, whatever, if they know that they can get their needs met by multiple people, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I don't think it's a trauma thing just because a person has multiple sexual partners.
No, and I don't believe that every man is unhappy simply because he's dealing with multiple women. I think it becomes an issue when he can't be honest. Like, just be honest about your needs, your wants. Like, that's the biggest problem for me. And if the woman that you're dealing with is not receptive or accepting of that, then you have to go seek someone who is okay with living that lifestyle for you. And that's the problem. Men, a lot of times, want to get with women who don't agree with that lifestyle, but then want them to stick around for it. No, go find someone that's on the same. I made up in my mind. I already told y'all, I don't think humans are naturally monogamous. It's something that we're taught. It's something structured. That is what I honestly believe. So yeah, for a man to want multiple women, or even for a woman to want multiple men, or feel like she requires, if I could take this man and mesh them together, I would have the perfect man. That's not abnormal, but it's like, be honest about it. And if you're going to go forward with dealing with multiple people, be honest. And if one of those people ain't okay with it, you got to let them go and find someone who is okay with it. Like, stop trying to hold on to the person that's not willing to live that lifestyle, because there's people out there who are. But if someone seeks monogamy and commitment with one person, let them go find that. Like, don't try to hold them back for your selfish wants and your selfish needs, because there are plenty of people out here, especially when we consider the fact that women do outnumber men on this earth. Trust me, you could find some women that's down with the lifestyle that you want to live. Go find it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, y'all be killing me with that. Just be honest. You know,
Wow.
that's all you gotta do. Just y'all make it seem like it's just so simple. Just be honest with us and everything. No, hey, y'all seen that shit
It
when they be
don't
talking
gotta
about
be simple
if you
though.
just
That's the
want to fuck,
thing.
just
Why
let
are
me know
you
you want
looking
to
for
fuck.
simple? Why
All
are
right,
you
I
looking
want to
for
fuck.
simple? No one
Blocked.
said.
Yeah,
No
because
one said it's gonna be simple.
Why you gotta block the nigga? He
because
be honest with him, and now you gonna block him.
that's what I want. So
You don't have to. Why you gotta
No one
block
said
Right.
it's
them?
gonna be simple either.
Sorry, sir. That's not something that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? I'm not your cup of tea. Blah blah blah. You
man,
ain't
fuck
gotta
all
block
that.
him.
Blocked.
See, and that's why motherfuckers
Look,
won't be honest because of that
Why
type
not?
of shit.
but
Why you
still
gotta
be
block
honest.
them?
That's not a good enough reason. Like she
Go
said,
That's
ahead,
because
Paul.
there's
the
somebody else
honesty
that'll be like,
isn't
"Oh, what's
simple.
up?"
I understand that, but why do y'all have
Pull
to
up.
be rude about it? Y'all wanted this man to be honest. He's honest, and now there's like a fucking punishment for him being honest.
No, there's
Because
no
just
punishment. You just
I
say
still can't be fucking friends.
for what?
Oh,
we probably
For
wasn't
what?
friends if you
Go
just
ahead,
want to
bro.
fuck.
And the
But you
fuck,
asked him
right.
that. You just want to fuck. Just let me know you want to fuck, and that's what he said. You know what? Yeah, I just want to fuck.
Okay, and just
And I
like
mean, that's
everything
cool,
else in
but I'm
life,
cool on you.
yeah, just because you have the freedom to do and say what you want, it doesn't make you free from consequences.
But what's
Right.
the consequence? The consequences of him saying, "I just want to fuck," and you're not with it is you're telling him, "No, I'm not with that." But why do you have to block him?
Why do you give a fuck?
Why do you have to kick him out of your life?
Why do you give a fuck? This bitch ain't
Because
giving you what
Why
you
do you
want
want to be
anyway.
in my
Why you care?
life? Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't
Why
mean
do you
that
want to stick
listen,
around?
there are relationships that people have with each other, and it's just a physical relationship, and they cool. And there's also on the flip side of that. Okay, shit, she didn't want to fuck, but shit, I'm still cool with her. What the fuck? We can still be
Man,
cool.
bye. You ain't want to be cool. You said I just want to fuck.
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't
and
say
in
let's
my
fuck
eyes,
and be friends.
I'm looking at that in my eyes, saying something like that is I don't want to be in a relationship.
No, bye. So you gonna tell
What?
me every girl that you just fucked y'all friends?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay then. So when you come
But I'm
out and
just
say
saying,
I just want to fuck, I'm going to assume you just
okay, so
want to
do you
fuck. I'm gonna
take
take
it?
what you're saying literally.
Is it better than him to be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be cool. I don't want to just want to be cool. I want to be cool and I want to fuck. Blocked.
I mean, it depends on what that person wants. They don't have to want what you want.
I didn't say you had to want it. You know what? Oh, you're right. You're right.
No, because Marcus, I'll be honest. Like I've been in situations where because or who people who don't know me, I tend to have more male friends than female friends, and so I appreciate, just like how Marcus says that he appreciates being able to collaborate with the female opinion. I feel the same way about the male opinion. And so there's been guys that have tried to get at me, but I'm like, nah, but we can still have them conversations though, because those is dope, So depending on who it is, I might be like, yeah, I'm not really interested in that, but you my homie though, but usually guys can't handle that. If I say like, we can still be homies.
I feel like y'all would have to be cool first before if a dude you ain't never talked to before just message you in your inbox like, yo, I just want to fuck. Nigga, what?
Oh yeah, no. And that's the thing. Like you just come at me with that, then you get blocked. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You would have to be cool first.
Okay, so I'm looking at it as along the lines of you guys have had conversations, whether it's through text messaging, social media, whatever the case is, y'all are cool. And he's like, and you're basically really want to know where this is going. Like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, we're cool, but I really just want to make this to be a physical thing. So you wanted him to finally be honest with you about where this is going to go. And he's like, well, shit, I'm not trying to lead you on to think that we're about to be in any kind of relationship. So yeah, it's just a physical thing. We're cool and it's physical.
Yeah.
You don't like that because he was on. What you mean?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that ain't what I'm trying to do. So bye.
Yeah.
That's
if we have a rapport, if we have a rapport already, and he comes with me, then I'll explain.
That's what I was going to ask. When men first start trying to talk to y'all, do y'all make that known? I'm looking for a relationship.
No, because maybe I'm not.
Okay.
I do. I do early.
Okay.
I'm not. I just want to see what you about first. I might not even like how you chew. I'm a very particular type of person. So I'm not going to start off with, I'm looking for a relationship. Like, no, I don't feel like that's what
I'm not saying you're looking for a relationship from that motherfucker, but I'm just saying in general that's what it is that you're looking for overall. I'm
No,
looking to
I
be in a
still like to
relationship
get
with
to know the
somebody.
Oh
person
no,
first.
not me. I'm not really a super relationship type of person. Like, I like my time. I like my space. I like my freedom. I like all of those things.
Well, you
Now,
sound
if we
like me.
kicking it, if we kicking it and it grows into that and that's what it becomes, then I let things fall into place naturally. But I'm not forcing a relationship. I don't start talking to a dude like I'm talking to him in hopes that we gonna end up together. I'm not the person that, oh, we've been texting and now I'm planning my whole life with you in my head. No, I don't get into none of that. None of that. Like no.
So I gotta ask, how
Please.
many of y'all shoot y'all shot?
I don't.
Me, I'll shoot my shot.
I
Love to
don't.
If
hear
I'm
it.
interested, I will shoot my. I have shot my shot and
Love
slam
to
dunk
hear
that
it.
bitch. Like I will do it. Yes,
Love to hear it.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't.
Why? For the ones who
Absolutely.
don't, who are against shooting a shot, why?
For me personally, because I feel like even if a motherfucker don't like me or don't want me, he's still gonna entertain me just because he knows I'm interested. Period.
That's not all the way 100% true.
That's what I feel. You asked me how do I feel, and I'm
I
telling you.
understand, but I'm just
You
saying
said
there's
why,
women
and
who
I'm
shoot
telling
their
you.
shots and you be like, oh, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm not even gonna entertain that.
I mean, yeah, if you like super ugly, super fat, something like seriously wrong with you. Other than that, yeah. The same motherfucker that have been like, yeah, I just want to fuck, he's gonna entertain me.
But I mean,
So
it's not just because you shoot your shot doesn't necessarily mean you're looking for anything in particular. Maybe
I
you
didn't
think
say that. I just said I don't. I
okay.
like a man to approach me. Not to say that doesn't even mean he just want to fuck. But me personally, that's what I like.
I think it is pretty cool when women shoot their shots because it's like, okay, wow. Not to say that putting in the work is a bad thing, but the fact that I'm saying is, okay, shit, she's showing interest in me. You know what? Yeah, she's cute. I like her, whatever the case is, or we vibe, and shit just kind of goes accordingly. I don't think there's really an issue with it because, like you said, either way, whether he shoot his shot first and he still just want to fuck, or you shoot your shot at him and he just want to fuck, like there's really no difference in it.
And I disagree with that.
You're gonna realize the bullshit. You're gonna realize if it's bullshit once, regardless of who shoot they shot first. If it's some bullshit, you're gonna realize it's some bullshit, and that's when game over. I don't mind shooting my shot.
The traditional way,
especially because every time I'm not shooting my shot to pursue anything deep and serious. Every time I might really just want. I don't know. I'm trying to see what it's hitting for. Like, who knows? Like, it's not. It don't.
But I think that's key in everything that y'all are saying, because it's like a woman knows what she wants, a man knows what he wants. Like, everybody knows what they want. So if I just want to date, I just want to date. If I'm looking for a committed relationship, I'm looking for a committed relationship, which means that the conversations in the beginning are going to be different if I'm in a phase where I'm looking for a committed relationship or I'm just looking to date. I'm not going to press you out, or vice versa, about, commitment and your thoughts on kids and marriage and how to run a household. We're not going to have all those conversations if I'm just in my dating phase. So I think it's just everybody, man and woman, knowing who they are and what they want in that phase of their life. And if I'm in a dating phase,
you know what? I think
I'm with her. I can shoot my shot. I think it's that I'm sexy and confident about a woman that can shoot her shot.
Yeah,
honestly,
it ain't because I ain't confident. I'm just not doing that.
I think I would if I was in that phase. I'm not in that phase.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a commitment.
Yeah.
So I think I would more often if I did, but I don't, because I want a man that's gonna lead from the top to the bottom, like
right. Because that's what you want right now. So I got to approach things differently. I got to accept, you know what I mean? I got to be more intentional about how I even allow somebody to come into my space. But if I'm in a dating phase to where I'm just dating before I got to my 30s, before I start thinking about what my future and everything look like, if I'm just dating, then I want to experience what it's like to date. And it's no restriction on if I shoot my shot or he shoot his shot.
Yeah, and I probably am on a opposite side with a lot of that because I did get married at a very young age. Very young age. I, at the age of 16, started dating someone and gave 11 years of my life. So it's like, you know, for me, once that situation was over, it was like, I ain't really looking to be held up, tied down, none of that. Like, whatever comes, but I'm not looking for that per se. Like, and I have shot my shot since then. And like I said, I slam dunk that motherfucker.
Shoot that shot, girl.
But, I mean, I did end up in another serious relationship, whatever, hence how I got a baby on the way, because I ain't just giving up babies now. We ain't doing that. So yeah, I do gotta take you serious but he shot his shot on a whole nother level, applied all types of pressures that I thought I wasn't even looking for, interested in nothing. So it's like it take a whole lot to even get me interested these days. I ain't even gonna lie. So as far as people dating multiple people, no, I don't think it makes you unhappy because I'm going to date multiple people. But my whole thing is I'm gonna be honest, and that's the thing. I'll be honest with it. I tell dudes, you're not the only person I'm kicking it with right now. You know?
Facts.
The men don't be honest about it, and that's my problem. Please,
because I feel like
honest.
this
you
even
can do you, but be honest.
Because even in this conversation, Poke wasn't giving off that same energy in episode 1 of this same topic. It wasn't.
Let's go, Poke. I know you got something to say.
You know, it wasn't this calm energy like, oh, a guy is just dating. He can just
you gotta
date.
let him have it now, bro.
That wasn't what it was in episode 1. We weren't talking about a guy in his 20s and he just in his dating phase. That wasn't what it was. It was a guy just having multiple women. He out here doing what he want to do with no regard to anybody else. Mr. Poke, I'm just saying. It seemed like it's, and Marion, correct me if I'm wrong, but
that's like kind of what I was gathering
in the first episode versus this one.
I'm not sure, man, because I'm never really out here to defend a dog, and usually as men grow older, we iron certain things out. So I'm not going to defend a dude that's growing.
Can you say that again a little louder for the other men that's in this room?
But I got to go backwards because so much was said. I want to go back to the whole honesty thing. And to be honest with you,
please,
I feel like a lot of times women, like y'all at reality with y'all at war with reality. Like y'all really want something from us that you're not going to get. You are not going to get that type of honesty because we don't even owe you that type of honesty that soon. It's your job to protect yourself. It is not our job to protect you. And secondly, why are we not talking about how much women lie? Women are not honest during dating. So this is not a gender issue. Nobody is honest during dating. Nobody is honest during dating. I don't care what you're doing. You are always selling yourself during dating. Even if it's, hey, how did you and your last boyfriend break up? Woman, you always, 95% of the time, you're going to say, oh, he cheated, he did this, he was toxic, he did this. Then we get in a relationship with you for 4 or 5 years and we realize it was you or you cheated. But there's so many ways where you could lie. You know how many guys that are the food guy right now and all he gets is a date to take him out on food and he really thinks he has a shot? Huh? Is anybody saying, oh man, them ladies should tell the truth about that? No, I say the men should understand that they're the food guy. That's on that person. Grow up, man up, woman up. It's on yourself to protect yourself. You want men to be honest with you? I got one last point. Where did men learn that lying works with women? Where did we learn that behavior? We never been honest with you because we learned, you have taught us that lies work because that's what y'all prefer. That's what y'all like. Y'all like to go out and meet a dude and it has a certain type of portrayal because y'all want certain things. So what do men do? They portray those certain things. Men can't be themselves when they first meet you, man. You know.
I don't want no lying ass nigga.
First off, you ain't lying with me. You lying for you.
Y'all cut me off. You know how patient I was? I sat there and let y'all talk.
I'm sorry. You're right.
That's how I know I'm getting deep on y'all. This is the thing, though. This again, ladies, listen to me. This is not a gender issue. You ladies are not honest either. You're not.
I like to think I'm pretty honest.
We're not talking about women that cheat. They're not honest. See, we keep having these conversations, and it seems like it's just the men. Men and women cheat. Let's establish that right now, okay? Then when we're dating,
this is true.
When we're dating, we both are lying. In some form, fashion, some way, we both are lying, even if we're exaggerating ourselves. But in some way, we're all lying to ourselves, lying to each other because we're selling each other. We're exaggerating or flat out lying. And a lot of times with ladies, it's flat out lies, especially about your history, especially about your past. A man's never gonna get a woman's real past, and that's facts right there, man. So about this whole honesty thing, the reason you ladies are saying that because you want to disarm us. You want to be protected so bad because you keep getting gamed. That's up to you to protect yourself. And men are going to keep lying, and women's going to keep lying. We got to protect ourselves.
Okay, one thing Poke, when you started this conversation, you started it on I might love this woman. I've been in this relationship with this woman, but I just need to go out and cheat. So at what point are you not supposed to protect the woman that you love? Like,
okay, good question. Because that is two different things. If you are in a committed relationship and you love a woman, now at that point, it is your time to keep it real with that woman, right? It is. I agree with that. I don't co-sign. I'm not co-signing cheating. But what I am saying is, ladies, especially, y'all are not realizing that it's happening, whether you like it or not. And the topic of this is men want multiple women are unhappy with themselves. It's happening. It always has happened from the beginning of time. There is not one time in history or current day where you can say, look at that time right there. Men were only with one woman. It's never happened. So the data, the science, the information shows that men love to be with multiple women. Y'all want to argue it and y'all want to say, no, that's not right. This ain't right. It doesn't matter. It don't matter what's right. The bottom line is it natural for men to want multiple women or not?
I think it is very natural. No, I think it is. But once again, you keep saying it's not about men or women. I don't think it's natural for women either. I think it's taught. I think it's a social construct. I think it's been embedded in women that you need to be this wholesome woman to be desired and to be pursued and to get a husband and to this, that, and a third. Like, but naturally, if that wasn't beat into us from damn near birth, I feel like women would be out here doing their thing just as much.
Jalila, I disagree. It's not what's taught. It's what men want. And that's one thing that y'all always get messed up. Y'all don't understand what men want. A man does not want a woman that's passed around. A man don't want a woman that's out there just doing everything. But it's different for us. I don't understand why y'all don't understand that concept. If I get with a woman and I find out that she's living a lifestyle just being like me or just getting on, I don't want that no more. You lost value. You lost value. But when men get around, we gain value.
Oh, okay. So
That's
so you can do what's natural to you.
That's some shit that y'all made up.
Go ahead, Leah. Go ahead.
So when I joined the conversation, okay, the narrative that you guys were talking about was we're in a family situation. You know, maybe I don't want to break up my family. I don't want to do this because then I'm looked at like I ain't shit, right? So let's just say, like you said, because we're saying everybody cheats, that this woman, your wife or whomever, baby mama, whatever it is, y'all little family, she cheat on you, right? You're not going to accept that. So at that point, you have no problem saying fuck her and fuck them kids, right?
No. Who said fuck her? Who said fuck her or them kids?
Yeah, that's not. All right, Candy, you're right on one point. Okay, if we're not married and if we don't have children, again, like I told you, most times when men get married, they're super reluctant to go ahead with that divorce, right? So those are the two incidents right there. Now, if neither one of those are on the table and you cheat, yeah, men most likely will be out of there.
So, I have no attachment.
Okay, wait, can I follow
up? So it's easy for me to leave something I really don't have attachment to.
I understand.
Okay, but wait.
I'm saying
watch
in
this.
the
Marcus, watch
the
this.
narrative that you guys were talking on when I first joined, you know what I'm saying? You was talking about a family, and it's like, yeah, I don't have peace here, so I went out and I cheated. And then they're like, well, why didn't you leave? Oh, because I didn't want to, we got kids, I didn't want to do this, that, and the third. So I'm asking, does that narrative still stick if she's the one that cheats? Is it still like, or because she's like, now it's like, I don't want her now. You know what I mean? No, it's kind of like she tainted now. So
it depends on the man.
I'm asking for myself. Mm-hmm. Is it still the same thing? Like, yeah, I'm still gonna stay because we have kids or because we're a family, or is it like, nah, fuck her and fuck them kids because she tainted and I don't want that?
Most likely we stay. Men most likely we try to keep our tribe together, man. And yeah, most likely that'll keep a man there.
But even you, Marcus, you feel the same way.
I'm not speaking.
Wait, I got a question. I'm sorry, I'm trying to clarify. I want to build on Candy real quick. I just want to clarify. I want to make sure I'm understanding the dynamic right here. So say you guys are in this marriage and you do have children. You go out and cheat, and instead of bugging you about your cheating, she goes and finds her somebody to cheat with. And she got somebody on the side, you got somebody on the side. You got your piece out there, she got her piece out there. What you doing?
I mean, it sounds like everybody happy.
I've seen people work that out before. I mean, if I want to keep the unit together, then I might, you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, marriage and children changes things for men. Again, 80% of all divorces are filed by women. That tells you right there that men really don't want to get divorced. So the numbers in the data, y'all.
But I feel like that plays a part in it's cheaper to keep her.
Not anymore. Yes. I don't believe so anymore so much.
I do. I don't think it's more of I don't want to lose my family. It's more of it's cheaper to keep her.
Well, no, I don't know. I can only speak for myself. But those two things, though, the marriage and the family, that can keep men around whether you're cheating or not. Okay. But other than that, again, like I keep saying, if you pass that thing around, it's just lost value. We don't want it. It's been in the streets. We don't want it.
So, like at this grown age, are we asking people their body count? Because how do you know?
Thank you.
I just want to know. I just want to know.
No, we're not. We're not asking. Hey, Marcus, watch this. We're not asking because number one, you're going to be dishonest about it anyway. But
no, I'm gonna tell you it ain't your business.
But number two, what I'm saying is, if you get with this woman, you're not asking her body count, stuff like this. But if you get with her and you come to find out that she's been out there like that, you're going to leave. You're going to leave because nobody wants that. That's why.
What if you find out after? What if you find out after marriage and kids?
Oh, that's what. Then you're the dummy. You're the fool. I mean, that's on you. That's on the man. Like I said, it's your job to protect yourself. You don't have to ask a woman's body count to know if she's been around or not. You know what I mean?
No,
I mean,
not
but I
all the
feel like
time.
it's kind of hard
But
to
I know
protect
some
yourself when somebody's
quiet
lying to you and being
hoes.
dishonest.
If we use the word
I
hoe,
agree
I
with you,
know some
Candy. It
quiet
is hard.
ones.
It is hard. But all I'm saying is I don't really expect women to be like, hey, man, hey, Pope, you're just my food guy. You know what I mean? After we get done with dinner, I'm going to call Damon down the street. I'm going to really back that thing up for him. But I just want you to take me to get some lobster and steak. I know that woman's not going to tell me that shit.
Or
I
the
might
nigga
not
who
say
just,
it,
or
but
the
I'ma
nigga who
show
just
it.
who supplies me with weed, or the man that comes over and
Yeah.
fixes things, cuts my grass.
Say it,
You
but
know.
I'm gonna show it.
I mean, I
Like,
don't know. I think I'm a pretty honest person. Marcus, you know me. You know how I get down. I feel like I'm a pretty honest person. As even when it comes to that. If I'm talking to multiple guys, you're gonna know that I'm talking to multiple guys. I'm not gonna pretend like you're the only one.
for
I'm not gonna do that.
example,
Because I don't want nobody to do that to me. And I think that's my problem, because I really do treat people how I want to be treated. And so I don't understand. It's like, yo, you ain't even have to lie to me about that.
There's one last very important factor, okay? Listen, women control sex and we control marriage, okay? Being that you control sex, from the time that we're kids, we learned that we need to lie to y'all to get sex. We've learned it. And just like Marcus said, you do not respect the dude that's honest, they get blocked. And then you get on Facebook and tell everybody you blocked them. But we've learned. I give you a good example really quick. If you go to Macy's and you sell makeup at Macy's, right? They're going to give you a script. They're going to give you the path. They're going to show you how to sell this makeup. All right. You don't go off the freaking road. The biggest salesperson there stays on script. Okay. Because they know that shit works. So what you ladies are asking us to do is stop doing what works for you and be honest with us. No, we're not going to do that because we know what works. We know exactly what works with you. So no, you're not going to get that honesty that you're looking for from men unless that man loves you and he's committed to you. That's it. Not in the dating game. You're not going to get honesty in dating.
I don't know. Like I
That's
said,
sad because there's always going to be a woman.
That's very sad.
Because there's always going to be a woman that will give you what you want.
Okay, I heard you say that several times. There's always going to be a woman that's going to give you.
We might not want her.
I'm not looking for her. I'm looking for you. What you mean? So, listen. For one second, ladies. Sometimes, if you want to understand men, just think about what we want for once. Y'all don't think about what we want, right? Y'all said that so many times. There's more women than men. They'll give you what you want, but I want you. I want you.
So I'm supposed to be okay with you being so predatory and dishonest, and just that is predatory. When you know that you can get what you're trying to get from another woman, but you know that I'm not with it, but you're gonna play all these tricks and games to get what you want from me.
Now predatory is
when you know you.
I don't know.
Predatory.
I got this candy.
Predatory is a very strong word because, again, like I said, with this dating thing,
that is very much white van behavior.
No fucking way.
Don't do that. Don't do that call.
We ain't kidnapping nobody and throwing nobody in the shit.
Ladies,
metaphorically,
the things that y'all do to men is just as bad and it's just as predatory. If you have a weed dude, that's predatory. If you got a food guy, that's predatory. If you got a dude just that pays your bills, that's predatory. So stop it with this gender stuff where what we do is so damn bad.
But I don't even see how that's predatory if you got a weed dude. I don't see. The nigga,
right, I know you don't see, you're using him.
I don't. No, you're not using them because the motherfucker.
If you're not paying, if you are not, hold on. If you're not paying for it and he's giving it to you out of because I like her, maybe I'll have a chance
it's because I want to
one of these days. Okay,
yeah,
you're not stopping him from giving you free shit.
Why would I?
So you're using him.
I'm not lying to you.
And you're tricking him.
I'm not tricking you. I didn't tell you I was gonna fuck you because you give me some free weed.
You don't have to tell me that. You don't have to tell me that.
Well, what do I gotta do? Well, how am I acting like it?
Pay for it.
Now we're getting into deception. You see, now we're at what's the difference between deception and lying and not being honest? Come on, deception is lying.
Because
how is that
now
deception? I'm not
because
deceiving
now
you,
this
making you
motherfucker
feel
is-
like I'm gonna fuck with you because you gave me
okay,
some weed.
but just listen. No, not just some weed. It could be listen
That's the
over these last 90 days. I done probably gave this motherfucker a pound of weed, and I'm thinking maybe that's a lot of money I just gave you.
Right. And you
So
know
in
ain't
his mind,
nothing.
he thinking, okay, anytime now, you know what I'm saying? She gonna want to go out. We going, she gonna give me some ass, whatever the case is. But you like, I don't know why you would think I would do something like that. I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
First of all, y'all are way too patient.
I mean, if it's something
y'all
that
are
you
way
really
too
want to,
patient.
if that's something you really want to fuck, you may wait a little while to get that shit.
why-
Not saying that you're not fucking nobody else in between.
While we're talking
Man,
about
wait.
honesty,
Does the long game work? Does that work for you guys though? The long game?
Sometimes I guess. I don't know. I'm not really into that, but
while
Because I
we're
feel
talking
like
honesty, we're talking about honesty, right? We have to
Mhm.
stop. We have to stop and show how getting weed from the weed man is predatory. But when y'all say, man, that's predatory that you're doing that, as men, we'd be like, all right, okay, you might have a point. That's really the difference between men and women.
You did not say you might have a point. Neither one of y'all said that.
he said it was a strong word.
I said predatory is a strong word, but
neither one of y'all agreed though.
But I get where she was going with that though. But all I'm saying is this: when y'all say, men, you're wrong about this, we can take a step back and say, yeah, maybe we are. When we show you where you are actually wrong, it's always a great debate. Why not just say, all right, you got me there.
Poke, the reason why I can't say that in this moment right now is because I myself, I love flowers. You want my heart? Get me some flowers. I turned down a bouquet of flowers just a week or two ago because I have no interest in this man. He wanted to take me out to eat. He wanted to get me some Thai food. I love Thai food. I said no because I'm not interested in him.
I respect that. But
that's cool.
We already established that you're a unicorn. So,
but when y'all don't tell him no, when you take,
I'm just kidding, ladies.
Consistently, when you're taking these things from this man consistently, he's going to think maybe I have a shot.
Come on.
That's all. Y'all not telling him straight. You know what? I do appreciate the gifts, but I'm not feeling you like that. And then
I don't feel like that.
Hey, Marcus.
Honest.
What about ghosting? All right. I hear horror stories about ghosting. Y'all are great at ghosting. Men generally don't ghost. Y'all will ghost this dude. Like some of the stuff that women do is way worse than men. And dishonest.
Nigga, just don't.
Wait, you never heard of ghosting, Marion? You never heard of that?
That women do it more than men?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Have any of y'all been ghosted before?
No.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, I have.
Oh man, but no.
My ghosting is not even.
I've been ghosted before. It's so easy to get ghosted by a woman. You meet a woman, you say something wrong. Say something wrong, ghosted.
Blocked.
Nothing. That is nothing for a woman to ghost.
Ghosting is just naturally a part of who I am. Like even my friends.
Natural ghoster.
It's not just with men though. My friends will tell you like, oh, Jalila's in. She's back in that mode again where she ain't. Like I'm not answering the phone. I'm not responding to text messages for no one. My parents, my friends, a nigga know nothing. It has nothing to do with just dudes. Like I just be ghosting life. Period.
Well, I'm just saying,
like,
don't you feel like a dude that you've been talking to, you should at least let him know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just not a good time for me. I'm not trying to ignore you.
Like I gotta explain why I'm set back from nobody. Honestly,
I agree with you there.
And you have the choice to decide. I'm not dealing with you and your ghosting bullshit, and I can't be mad at that. But I'm gonna do it, and if you don't want to deal with it, don't deal with it. Someone will.
I think that's difficult for somebody who wants
the honesty part.
Wants to really. I think it's difficult for somebody who really wants to be with you, to you know what I mean, be talking to you for X amount of days, and all of a sudden I ain't heard from you in a week.
Oh well, like Poke said, it's up to you to protect yourself, right?
Here, I guess
you got to protect ourselves.
That's right.
Only the strong survive.
I don't ever look at men that get played in the dating world, I don't never look at them and feel empathy or sorry for them or that girl. No, you probably played yourself. You missed a lot of signals along the way. But either way, you're a grown ass man. You'll be okay.
You know what I mean? You move on, brother. You move on.
Yeah, like
next.
I will go out to eat with a dude and answer the phone for another dude while we eating if that's what I want to do. Like, I don't be pretending for these niggas.
The
like,
disrespect.
Listen, that's because I want you to be honest with me, so I'm be honest with you. Like, my dude, he had to do a little bit of time last year because little probation violation. Cool, had to sit it down. I went out to eat with another dude. He video called me from jail. I answered that video call while we was out to dinner. He asked me who I was with. I told him the truth. And I also told him, like, this dude with no strings attached be giving me money and I be putting that money on your books. Like, what's up?
Real
like,
sucker shit.
I mean, I just...
You could, there's no way you can tell me that to my face. Yeah, you're giving me money and I'm putting it on my niggas' books in jail. There's no way.
Well,
for that to continue to happen?
No. She said she tells that to her dude that was in jail, right?
I understand that, but
no, she was at dinner. The man was sitting there.
But my question, so the dude that
on his call,
the dude that gives you the money, he's hearing you tell the dude that's locked up, this guy gives me money who I'm out to eat with.
For dinner and the tip and still took me home and still hit me up the next day. Right, yeah, so let's do it again.
How old is this? Is this dude old?
He's weird.
How old am I? I'm 30. He's 32. No.
Holy shit, my nigga.
Yeah. I question that guy.
And he still to this day calls me and he offers to play stepdaddy to my unborn child and everything. I mean, it is, you know?
I mean, to be honest,
in a situation like that,
you should
hold the fuck up.
But I'm honest.
I commend you on your honesty, but in a situation like that, I gotta question his self-worth.
Hell
and then I gotta question the role that I want to play and keep in diminishing his self-worth.
That's the type of nigga that you shit on him, huh? Literally.
I mean, are you really shitting on somebody when you being honest?
No. What I'm saying is literally, like, if she wanted to literally take a bend over and squat and shit on this nigga, he would probably let her. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I'm gonna do whatever you say, baby.
Too much right now.
Shit, what he's doing is a little too goddamn much, in my opinion.
I mean, but that's his money and his time. So if he chooses to,
and all I'm saying is,
who cares?
All I'm saying is the vibe that he gives off to me.
He had it to give, and I'm probably not the only girl that he was.
There's too much disrespect there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's one thing to give it, but there's a level of disrespect that most
line between honesty and disrespect.
There's a difference between honesty and disrespect, though. There's a difference. When we're at that dinner, you better not pick up that phone.
I don't think it's very thin.
I'm answering that call because I don't know when he won't see me. I don't know when he gonna be able to call again. So I'm
understood.
The call.
You won't see me no more.
I mean, but a lot of times when a female does have a partner in jail and she's dating or talking to other men, whenever that, you know, her significant other is in jail, the other nigga knows that. The other nigga knows that.
Maybe.
They know that.
I'm just saying there's a level of decorum that we can have, though. We could do this without being disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Oh, you want to be delusional.
But if you don't feel like it's disrespectful, then
I'm gonna give you,
what makes it disrespectful?
Well, he don't feel like it's disrespectful because, as a lady said, he ain't got much self-esteem.
Or it could be she just already told him what's up, so he already know what it is.
I ain't gonna argue that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can have that.
You're not about to tell me the money that I give you, you put it on your niggas' books.
Why?
I mean, not all of it, because you can only put so much. You can only put so much money on books. So
you're only telling me that. I'm giving you the ability to tell me that one time.
Listen,
that's it.
I don't care if she put the money on the books. I don't care. But my time is very valuable. So
not going to tell me that
when I'm with you. That's number one. But number two, you're going to treat me with a level of appreciation because I am doing something very solid for you. So treat me with some appreciation.
I appreciate
Like
it.
you appreciate? No, you don't.
So what?
I do appreciate that.
I'm very curious. This man gets nothing out of the deal by just you accompanying him and to where y'all going and having conversation.
Depends on how long he stick around. It depends on the guy, for real. Because I mean, hey, I might take it there with you, but for the next one, you might just stay being that guy. Like it depends on a guy.
I'm happy she's saying this though, because that's what we was just talking about. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this stuff goes both ways, guys.
Yes, that's why it's not about man or woman.
If you're being toxic and disrespectful to me, it don't matter if you're being honest. Like if I walk into the house and tell my woman, "Fuck you, bitch! I don't like you anyway. You stink." Does it matter that I was honest? No, I was just disrespectful.
I mean, it does matter. It does matter. Thank you for telling me that.
I just disrespect.
I like that you use the word toxic, because as women and men, we have to realize when we are being toxic.
I'm so tired of that goddamn word.
I mean, that's a word that we really have to explore. Because women have just as many toxic traits and toxic ways as the next man has his own toxic traits and toxic ways.
There you go. There you go.
And it really is.
And we got to be honest about what that is.
It's unfortunate that men have been given the title of, you know, they're viewed as being more toxic than women in relationship, to the point that when I do certain things, my friends be like, "Oh, you should have just been a nigga." And I'm like, why does that have to be equated to a man's behavior? Why am I just not being who I am? Like, I'm not trying to be a nigga. I'm just being me. Like,
you're a nigga in a woman's body.
That's because of that taught behavior and social construct that a woman's supposed to move a certain way. And it's like, when I'm moving outside of what's expected of a woman as the norm, then you acting like a nigga. Like even to the point that my mother's like, you should have just been your father's son. Wow.
But I hear women talk about all the time, "Oh, you just like a nigga." Yeah, you're a nigga. That's what niggas do. Like, wait, what? Why is it?
And that's what I'm saying.
Why can't it just be this is how I am?
This is how this person do. Yeah, and I don't think that when women say that it's right. Like, because it's not gender based with me. It is what it is.
So
people
again,
are who they are. So
everybody here didn't get
unapologetically yourself.
Everybody here
decide if they want to deal with that.
Wasn't here for the last question that I asked. I made it a reel on social media, but I feel like it's a legit question. And maybe now, since we have more women on the panel, I can get a better answer, I guess. But I asked, especially when it comes to cheating, if you're going to leave a man for cheating, and you believe all men cheat, in your mind, you really believe all men cheat. So this man cheated on you, you left him, and now you end up with somebody else. But you already believe he's going to cheat on you as well. So why'd you leave the other nigga?
Me personally,
I don't believe that.
But a lot of women do.
Me personally, I will say I believe at least 95% of the men cheat. But I am hoping that somebody will prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm. So I will say that I've never left anyone for a little bit of cheating. It's like if you're cheating and then doing other stuff on top of that. It's like you cheating and then you not taking care of home, and then you trying to put your hands on me, and then no. I never left for a little bit of cheating. And also, one of my favorite sayings is, if you're not going to leave, let that man cheat. Let that man cheat in peace. Because if I'm not leaving you, why am I be crying and cussing you out and going through your phone and just to stay? So if I'm not leaving, I'm gonna let you cheat in peace, baby. Do that mean I'm a maybe not do my
somebody else is hitting that ass, my nigga?
No,
not every time.
Not every time. That just means I haven't met my threshold with you of what I can no longer tolerate.
I also read, if a woman stays with you after you cheated, you best believe she's cheating on you too.
No, not every time.
Not true.
Not every time.
Mm-mm. Just saying.
I've stayed. And it's the added on stuff. Like, I done stayed with a man and I've known he stepped out, but it's like everything else is still being taken care of. Like, ain't no one coming to me as a woman. The household is still being taken care of, this, that, and third. So it's like, all right, so you just wanted to try some outside. Cool, whatever. But now if you doing you and then I'm being disrespected, home is being neglected, all right, now enough is enough. Like, enough is enough.
And why do y'all do that coming to you as a woman bullshit? Like, what satisfaction does a woman get out of that?
Please don't come to me as a woman, because baby, I'm gonna laugh at you and piss you off. Do not come to me as a woman, because now we about to play a game and you don't want to do that. Please don't come to me as a woman. Don't.
So what do you think that women get out of doing that?
I feel like that woman wanted something more out of that man that she's just not getting, or like she really believed in her mind that she was that special woman that, oh, he's gonna leave that woman, that situation, that family, and come be with me and be my, and he ain't doing that. So now I'm about to destroy what they got going on over there. And a lot of times that don't even work. So it's like, you just did all of that for nothing, because that home is still that home.
Right. Has that ever worked for anybody?
I can't call it.
I've never. I guess for guys is dirty macking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you about to spill all this dirt about me to my shorty just so you can fuck, and then she don't even let you fuck, bro. But thanks. You just gave her all of this information for nothing. I don't know. I think that's a real character flaw for men to do. You know, to go to a dude's woman and, well, yeah, he was with this woman, you know, the other night, and I saw him with such and such at the, like, why? Come on, man. So I think it's even worse for dudes to do it than when women do it, though. I'll say that. Because I feel like that's something that just women do, which is really weird to me. But
I ain't coming to nobody else. Like I said, please.
So nobody has a story of another woman coming to them as, hey.
Oh yeah, someone has come to me as a woman, but I'm not doing it.
Right, me neither.
And they were very disappointed when they came to me as a woman, because, girl, now I gotta play with you and hurt your feelings. And now
so is this something that's automatically believed from these other women, or maybe they just saying something just to kind of get you riled up?
I ain't never.
She's not giving you no evidence, no screenshots, no nothing. Just
Oh no, it definitely has to be. You definitely gotta have some receipts to back up the claims that you're making, for sure. Like, because anyone could say anything, but even with them receipts, I'm not about to let the next woman see me sweat. Even if I'm boiling on the inside, I'm not about to see that. I'm about to play a big old game with you, and I'm going to go address him later, and we going to move forward how we move forward. But me and you, I'm about to just piss you off. So now you hurt by him and mad at me, and you just, your whole life is in shambles now. Like, I'm not playing games.
Why don't you come join us, baby?
Ew, I gotta be attracted to you.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry.
And just because you his type,
never mind.
My type, so no.
Oh, okay. Now I feel that, but I've been seeing a lot of women saying that now. Baby, you ain't got to cheat. Just bring her over with us. I'm like, interesting take.
Which is the whole point that she was saying. There's women out there that's gonna give you what you want. Why try to lie and trap somebody that don't want that lifestyle?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I don't have the stats on it, but I believe women like that are very far in between.
Okay, I don't think that men are just plain flat out lying. I mean, they want that woman. They're in love with that woman. Okay, but the social constructs of this Western hemisphere European world is that you have one, you marry one. That's the social construct. The only thing I've ever said is that simply goes against our nature. But we're trying our goddamn hardest. Now, there's a couple ways that men deal with that, and one of them is experience. As we go through life, as we've seen enough, got enough experience, got enough consequences, then maybe we're ready to go ahead and like be for real about it. But it just goes against our nature. It's really hard. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mary.
I just had a question about what you were saying. So you have this woman that you love, and because it's your nature to want to be with other women, if you come across a woman who's about that poly life and says, "Yeah, I would be one of your wives. I would want a sister wife." Would you leave the woman at home in order to be with the woman that is more aligned with the way you think your life should go?
I believe that the woman that I've chosen to walk with would entertain that conversation. And if the answer is no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving my woman. Right? That's just me. No. And also about that poly stuff. I mean, I've always been taught, you know what I mean? My religion teaches that, you know, as you said, you got to be able to afford these wives. You got to be able to take care of those women. Now, you did say something that made me want to speak on this. I would like to see Black people get to a point, though, where we think economics first. So, for instance, when you say a man cannot afford to be with 3 different women, well, that's even more reason for all 4 of them to get together and put their money together and build together. That would make a lot more sense than you just continuing to be broke. That's 4 incomes all of a sudden. So there are reasons to come together if you can build and you can think economics first, and you know, get out of your ego and the jealousy and think about building something. So
I'm not paying no bills if I'm multiple. If I'm one of multiple wives, I'm not paying no bills.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's about the collective. It's about the collective. One thing that we see with other races is they do marry each other. Like, for instance, can't nobody just marry Chelsea Clinton. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just marry Chelsea Clinton. I forget who she's married to, but she's married to a wealthy family. You know, you can't tell me in all of these marriages that they're happy with the marriage, but it's arranged. This is business. Marriage is business, actually. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you getting together and saying, look, we all damn broke. Let's put this shit together and let's be a collective. There's nothing wrong with that. But, I mean, we don't really think economics too much. We really don't.
Right. I'm not paying another female because that's how I look at it. We putting our money together. I'm giving another female my money. I'm not giving another female my money to have sex with my man. I'm not doing that. And that's I know I might need to grow up, but I don't want to share. I don't.
It's not going towards another female, though.
What is it going?
It's going to the collective of the household.
But she's benefiting from it.
And so are you.
No, how?
What?
Because she would be contributing as well.
No, I'm not giving her my money. I'll be just fine with my own money.
Well, don't give it to her. Give it to me, and then I'll do what I need to do with it.
Okay, wait. I got a question. I'm gonna ask Jalila, because Jalila, you grew up in that faith, in the Muslim faith, and you've seen polygamous relationships. Is it custom that the man takes care of all the household and pays all the bills, or is it that the women work and it's this collective that Polk is talking about?
I can't speak for all faiths, but in the Islamic faith, the man is the provider. But the women.
So if I'm part of that, that's
the
what
women
I need.
contribute in other areas. Like the man is not doing no household work. The man is, the women are teaching the children, nurturing the children, dealing with all the upkeep, yada yada yada. So it's like. He has way less of a load on him where he can focus on providing and protecting,
I give you a perfect example. If you had 3 wives that worked as a collective, right? Without throwing anybody under the bus, but when I had my own business, I was actually operating the business, going out, pressure washing houses, and also doing the books on the side, making sure taxes was paid, making sure all my advertisements was going to the right places and all that, right? That is something that, if you can have a wife that can do all your booking, all your books and stuff like that, if you have a wife that does all of your advertisements, stuff like that, that just makes everything easier. The wife don't have to go out there and do the pressure washing or do the cut the grass or do the business itself. But if everybody is just working together as a real unit, then you can really come together. And not only that, if these wives have brilliant ideas, if they're better than you in a different area as far as up here goes, I mean, you're bringing 4 minds together. You know what I'm saying? So I can see how that could work if you had the man that was like, yo, this is what we're doing. We're not just here just to be fucking. Like, we're not here just to be fucking. So
Farrakhan has wives, and no, they don't all live in the same house, but he takes care of all those households, and all of those women have been taken care of, and all of those children have been taken care of, and his children are doctors and lawyers, and from the many households, doctors and lawyers and etc., and their children are doing, his grandchildren are doing great things, and he provided for all of that. But because they were able to just focus on the nurturing and the teaching and not have that financial burden, they were able to do those things. I feel like a lot of time we're just the typical African American couple or whatever. Yeah, I'll just say that because I don't want to offend, religions or anything like that. The typical African American couple, both people are so exhausted because both people are working tirelessly to provide financially and then take care of the household as well. When we talk about equally yoked, but it's never really equally yoked,
Can I ask something now? Everybody on this panel, has everyone on this panel been cheated on before?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So you've been in a poly relationship any goddamn way.
No.
See, and that's what Shahrazad Ali was bringing to the table.
Cheating and polygamy.
Please call on Alana.
Listen, you're in a
Please call on Alana.
A polyamorous relationship has to be on the same page. It's not a polyamorous relationship if I'm assuming we're in a monogamous relationship. That's not
the point that I'm trying to make is if that man has a woman on the side, then you're in a poly relationship. You just don't know it. You didn't agree.
Wait. What you say, Candy? Go what?
Be with that bitch.
All right, Alana. Then we get right back to you, Jalila. Go ahead, Alana.
No, I was just gonna say, just because a person has been cheated on doesn't mean they're in a polyamorous relationship. Because the time that I was cheated on, I did stay, but I also did not pay any bills. So it was a different situation. So I think that a lot of things is different and it depends on what's going on. I think that it's kind of dusty for a guy to have multiple women and then expect them to financially contribute because it's actually taking them out of their like divine feminine nature. And I think that instead it seems that he's then looking for meal tickets or he's then looking for mothers and sisters. Like that's not what marriage is, not what provision is. I think like at the root of all religions, the men, like in like most of the like religions, even in matriarchal societies, men work, men provide financially, women will tend to the home. Now in more modern society, yes, you do have brilliant women who want to go to school and they are educated, and if they decide to contribute, absolutely, and they should have that, and they should be able to if that's what they decide. But it should not, the household being able to survive or thrive should not be contingent on a woman's salary. That is very dusty. And if a man has to do that, then he does not need to have multiple women because he cannot afford to have multiple women. Because and he's putting undue pressure on his wife and children for what? Because now she's stressed out. So what type of life is that her kids gonna have? She's not gonna have healthy pregnancies. Like that doesn't make any sense. But no, if what he's looking for is business partners in that type of way, because that's a business. When you talk about advertising, that's not what a wife, that's not what family is for. That's not what household is for. It's about building up the household. And yes, that in and of itself, it's a business contract, but that business contract is about the household. It's not to sit up here and build this man's vision. he should be able to have his vision 99% built without a woman coming along and having to take from her. That's being a leash. And so I think it just depends on the different value systems of who are these people that's involved and what is everybody. I think that's the problem. Like, people don't really vet each other or talk about, like, what do you believe in and what's your value system? Because the whole thing about cheating, even with a woman approaching, I've had a woman approach me, and guess, hey, I listened to her and I was like, okay. And honestly, at the end of the day, me and him ended up breaking up, and he did go and marry her, and it was all love. Like, okay, that's where you chose to be. Like, we also have to understand every relationship is not to marry. Some is for seasons, some is to teach us stuff, and we have to learn how to be more mature about these things. And just know, like, what are the standards that we have, that no matter what, that's how we approach dating. I think a lot of what Jalila was saying is, like, that's her standard when she dates, no matter what. It doesn't change whether it is going to be long-term or if it's dating. It's a standard. And I think in the other situation we're talking about, there's no standard. It's like, okay, we started off this way and then we change. No, there should be a standard. And when you entertain someone of the opposite sex or someone that you are interested in, that's your standard. Whether you're trying to just have sex with them, whether you want to be in a relationship, it's a standard. For me, a man always has to bring something to the table that has substance and financial. I don't care if we're just going to be friends. I don't care if we're just going to be cool and kick it. I don't care if it's going to be something long term. There's a certain standard. If you don't meet that standard, then I'm not talking to you, no matter what. And I think that's, like, when we talk about honesty and stuff, that's what we have to get down to. What is your standard when you are approaching people and when people approach you? And you shouldn't waver that just because of a season you're in. There's been times that, no, I'm never looking for a relationship. I'm living life. And if it happens, it happens. But there are times that I ended up in a relationship. Absolutely. But the same questions that I asked when I met that guy is the same questions that I asked when I met the guy that I was just dating. Like, because there's a standard. And I think if you have that and you govern yourself by that standard, a lot of this stuff won't even matter.
Yeah,
good points.
I mean, she makes very good points, but I mean, this is a very important point. Men have standards too, and I think that we have really gotten to a point where men are like, wait a minute, you don't meet my standards, and that's really where things are at.
Yeah, but y'all won't say that though.
Men say that I have standards and they be able to communicate those standards to the women that they deal with.
It's not my job to protect you, sis. Protect yourself.
It's not about protection.
Protect yourself.
A woman is supposed to be able to communicate her standards to a man. A man should feel confident enough in his standards to communicate those to a woman. So it's not. It's another level of communication. It's another level of relationship when you can share what your standards are with each other. Why does it have to keep going back to you protect? I don't need you to protect me. I just need you to tell me what's up on your end. Just same way you looking for me to tell you what's up on my end. So what are your standards? As a man, what are your standards? That's my question to you right now. Yeah.
Peace and happiness. Bring some peace to the table. I don't want nothing else. Bring some peace to the table. You bring some peace to the table, we in there. That's over everything.
But what does peace look like to you?
Okay, great. I just don't be argumentative. Don't be combative. Don't be a warmonger. Yeah, I mean, when I say warmonger, I don't use that word lightly because a lot of us men, we've dealt with warmongers where every time you go home, it's war. So, right. So what does peace mean? How about some cooperation? How about that?
Wait, you got it. What is cooperation?
Cooperation is submissiveness on a certain level. I don't like that you use the word submissiveness because I'm not asking for a slave. But I do want a woman that, you know what I mean, is very fucking cooperative. Period. You know what I mean? I don't want no going back and forth and all of that.
Well, are you being a good leader?
Trust. No. Okay, let's start right there. The whole, but are you this? Are you that? Listen, when we're dating, I need the woman to figure out if she could trust me. I need the woman to figure out what I do, how I do it, and she needs to be like, all right, this man is a good leader. Why? Because he leads himself. He can lead.
I feel like at some point when you're being dishonest to women, you're being dishonest to yourself at some point. Like
dishonest about what? Wait.
That's what I was gonna say. What are we being dishonest
about what? I'm listen. Listen. I'm not being dishonest. I'm simply not. I'm not an open book for you. I'm not going to meet you and spill my guts and tell you everything just so that you won't get hurt.
And I wouldn't expect you to, because I'm not going to do that either. However, but you have. If you're looking for more than just we gonna hit it off from time to time, then I think you need to be open about what it is that you want out of the situation.
Let me tell you something.
That's where honesty lies.
Allow me to tell you something I found out. If you're dealing with a peaceful woman, all these variables don't matter. Well, if you're this or if you're that, a peaceful woman is a peaceful woman all the time. She's not a peaceful woman if you're this or if you're that. You can sense a peaceful woman on that first date. On that first date, this woman is peaceful. This woman is cooperative. I hear this from a lot of times from women. Oh, well, I'll be submissive or I'll be cooperative for the right man. No, you won't. No, you won't. A cooperative woman is always
to say that.
Because I was going to say, if a man says, yeah, I'll be masculine for the right woman, and you look at him like he's crazy. Right. Y'all looking at us like, yo, that's not something you turn on and off. You're masculine or you ain't.
Right, that don't make no sense. Men, we get to listen. We get to a certain age where we're not listening to y'all no more. We know what's up. We know what we know. We know women through experience and through time. So even if a woman says, "No, I don't agree with that," okay, that's fine. That's fine. But in my experience, I know a peaceful woman when I see one, and it doesn't depend on anything. I'll tell you what, go to Giant Eagle or something, go to a grocery store and a woman is dealing with something crazy. You ever heard of them Karens or whatever? A peaceful woman don't never turn into Karens. A peaceful woman gets shit done. She makes her complaint in a peaceful fashion and still gets results. She never turns into the Karen though. Peaceful women can get results. They can be successful. They can go far in life and still be peaceful.
You know what, Poke? I just want to bring up one thing.
So, right? The man has to carry his own piece of peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
That don't even make sense to me. I'm gonna tell you why. I came into it with my own sense of peace. When I met you, I was a single man. I was peace. I was at peace with myself. I came into it with my own peace. Now, though, this is two people forming one. This is two people in a household living together. So ain't no such thing as I got my own peace. Your energy now affects me. So yeah, I came into it with my own peace, but I can't live with someone that has demons and going at war, always mad, got a scowl on their face, bitter, complaining about shit. No. Negative. I need positivity.
So,
yeah, but I'm saying
peaceful
the same amount of peace that you expect a woman to have, you embody that same peace for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If I'm not bringing peace to her, that's a problem too.
Right.
That's a huge problem. This goes both ways. Right. I just want peace, but I'm coming to the table saying I'm bringing peace. Like it's going to be peace dealing with me.
Yeah, but there's a lot of men that will say, "I want peace," if they are not bringing.
And they are not peace.
That's a problem.
Yeah, you can't want peace and be bringing me hell. Like,
that's a problem, lady. But we're talking about y'all right now. See, that was a nice little reversal, and y'all love doing that. Y'all love doing that. We're talking about y'all.
I thought we were saying
okay.
Honestly, because this whole conversation, we've been talking about men and women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But one thing I did want to bring up something when
a man versus a woman, and we have to get into the space of men.
Yes.
Instead of a versus.
Yes.
We have to really space
Yes.
where we can sit and we can listen and we can understand a man, and a man can sit and he can listen and he can understand a woman. So it's no longer man versus woman. It's woman and man. We fight battles outside of us all day long. The system is created for us to fight each other. So we have to get to a space as a culture to be able to sit in space with men and women and be able to understand, be able to allow everybody to speak their truth, live their truth, and be able to communicate what that means so that we all come to an understanding of each other. This whole man versus woman thing ain't gonna do nothing but keep us fighting each other, which is what the people want to see. They don't want to see us come together in community and in understanding of each role as a man and as a woman, if you even deem it as a role, because some don't, and that's okay too.
I agree.
So we got to.
I wanted to bring that up.
It's woman and man, because that's I just listen. I can hear so much of how our community is broken. We fighting about disrespect, or we fighting about toxicity. We fighting about peace. We fighting about all of these different. We are fighting each other on everything instead of identifying the problem that we each have together, and we fight the problem instead of each other.
Which is what? What's the problem? Say it.
The problem is that we've the system, the people outside of us have put us against each other, and we are so broken by the tools and the things that they've done to us individually and way before any of us was even thought of. We are broken into pieces by that stuff, and when it gets hard for us to fight to figure out what that stuff lies inside of us, we fight each other. When it gets hard for us to make the comments or make the stance to the outside problem, we fight each other, because that's easy. It's easy for us to fight each other. It's hard for us to come together and fight the problem.
Well, that's why
I wanted to bring that up.
You wanted to talk about.
I wanted to bring that up with
is in a battle right now with everything outside of who he is, which is a Black man at his core. At his core, he is a Black man. And he is at war with everything that has been strategically placed against that. He's at war. And unfortunately, so much of our culture will fight against it instead of trying to fight for our Black brother. That's a whole nother conversation, but I'm just saying we need to do a better job of being able to be in a space with each other instead of dividing and trying to conquer. We need to come together and conquer.
I personally think it's really hard to come together when Black men have done so much to divest in Black women and do so much harm, because by and large, Black women never have, they're not against Black men in any way, shape, or form. Black women still are holding the torch. They're still going out there. They're still fighting, even when it is not their own benefit. Black women have been laying down their lives and continue to lay down their lives for Black men all the time. We think of everything that has happened over the last few years with racial justice. Black Lives Matter was started by 3 women because of a Black boy was killed. Black girl that took the video for George Floyd. Like, Black women are always laying down and always are doing so much. But anytime a Black woman has asked for Black men to be held accountable, one, Black men do not hold other Black men accountable. And when you have that happening, it's then very hard to then say that Black women and Black men need to come together, because Black women check each other all day long, every day. Sometimes they check each other to the point that ain't no sisterhood no more. Black women got to learn how to stick together with each other more. But the hardest thing is very hard when Black women, Black men need to come together, when Black men, by and large, they create entertainment and platforms just to downplay and dog other Black women. And honestly, other cultures, other races don't even have these type of conversations like this that often because it's not even necessary. And a lot of this is propagated by Black men who have some type of ego, things that they want to change, when a lot of them are not right within. Yes, as has society and white supremacy done things that have negatively impacted Black women and Black men, and do we have like different laws that were put in place? So now we have more Black men incarcerated, and we have more Black women shining, and they're fast growing entrepreneurs. Absolutely. And even with all of that, even with all of those things, Black women, even as they are thriving in the last 5 or 6 years, they by and large still always try to make it work with a Black man. They still always try to go and be there with them and be there for them. But by and large, most of us can get on any social media platform every single day, and we will see a post or a thread by a Black man that is dogging Black women. We had sat up there and had an influencer who just died, whose whole platform was about how he dogged Black women.
No. Kevin,
Wait,
but Kevin Samuel started off with Black men.
If you let me finish, he started off with Black men, but he did not get on and popping until he switched and started talking about Black women, because it is profitable for Black men to get on there and talk and dog Black women. And they do it all the time. It's always on social media. Half of the doggone podcasts out there about Black men, it ain't no substance. It's about stupid stuff like this. Being honest with you, it's not of anything that's of a substance. Because how many times do you have conversations about relationships when you're right? You can't go and fight against society when Black men don't even make a space or a platform to talk about the real stuff that's fighting against society. Because you want to talk about let's fight against society, then Black men should be having podcasts about, hey, let's talk about stocks and bonds. Let's talk about building our own schools. Let's talk about what's going on and how can we better educate our kids? How can we hold these other men accountable? How can we do group economics and cooperative economics? But only time a Black man want to talk about cooperative economics is when it means that he can have 2 or 3 women in his bed and they up there laying up there working for him and sucking out the greatness out of them. That's not cool.
There's a lot of platforms that talk about economics in the Black community, building schools and teaching our kids certain things. I follow a lot of those people on social media and on YouTube. So those people are out there who would really like to unify the Black community as a whole. You know what I mean? Now you're right. There are those people out there who want to bash women. But again, you can scroll down my news, my timeline and see a lot of posts about how we ain't shit. And dogging Black men out all of the time, or I'm this close to dating a white man. Okay, go ahead and date a white man. You know what I'm saying? You think because he's white, he's going to treat you so much better? Is that what you're telling us? So it's like, I'm not disagreeing with you that there are people on there who bash Black women, and then even with the girl Kendra G. Them Black women on there be dogging them damn selves. I can't believe you had the audacity to get on somebody's platform and say all of this shit about yourself and then expect a dude to want you. Really? But we're dogging y'all out. Y'all don't help in the propaganda of dogging yourselves out. A lot of people have issues with, all day long I can scroll through my shit and see
love and
ass and which I call it ratchet TV, but just bouncing ass and titties and shit all over the goddamn place. And then it's like, well, you should respect us anyway. Well, motherfucker, after me seeing this shit for, days on end, now I'm only looking at you as I just want to fuck. Go ahead.
Man, first, let me start by saying what Ashley said was absolutely wonderful. I absolutely agree. And man, I just hate that it was followed up by what was said. Listen, this is an actual problem, and I keep going back to this gender issue. How do you expect to get somewhere when it's always we're doing better, we're good, but it's y'all? How about it's both of us, man? Now, the young lady brought up the point that Black Lives Matter was started by 3 Black women. That's not
opportunist.
That's not
in the help of George Soros.
Yes, that's not even true. It was started by George Soros, and also
it was not started by George Soros. Actually, George Soros is a national foundation.
I did not interrupt. So it was really started by George Soros, but the 3 black women were in the LGBTQ community. We know that Black Lives Matter was not about black people. It was about the LGBTQ community. So let's go ahead and scrap that. As far as looking on social media, there's just as many social media posts of black women dogging black men. This thing goes both ways. We're not about to point fingers like this, man. This is the actual problem. Everybody has to be right. Why can't it just be a problem with black men and black women? We're not doing the right thing and leave it at that. But it always has to be someone. But if we wanted to point fingers, I could point all kinds of fingers. And these black men that you're complaining about, who raised those black men? Who raised them? Because y'all tell me that y'all single moms and that all the men left y'all. So who raised these black men that turned out to hate black women? What happened? What happened? But I really hate to point a finger at somebody. Oh, time out. Kevin Samuels, a dog black woman. The reason that Kevin Samuels blew up after he started dogging black women, supposedly, is because y'all can't take accountability. As long as he was trashing black men, you didn't care. Y'all didn't care. Nobody cared. We was listening to it. He was telling us how to be better men. He was telling us what we're wrong at, what we're doing, how we're failing our woman. Kevin Samuels was actually trying to create more relationships. And also, you're completely wrong when he say he's trashing black women. He trashed all women. He trashed white women, Japanese women, all women. It wasn't just about black women. So that's not true. You said a lot of things that were not true.
And again, I feel like part of those things he was saying, you know, hey, if you have X amount of kids by X many people, or you're a size this, that, and the third, and that's probably not what people are going to be checking for. And his delivery may have been a little fucked up, but what he was saying is it completely far-fetched.
It was right. It was the truth. That's all it was. It was the damn truth. See, black women, they'll complain about Kevin Samuels, but they can't prove where he was wrong. They can't say, you know what, he was wrong about that. Because he was absolutely right. But if you go, and I just posted something on Facebook, but if you go and listen to the things that he told men to do, when he was sticking up for black women, and he was telling men to do X, Y, and Z for black women, I bet they've never even seen those videos.
Go ahead, Marion.
Well, one thing I do want to say, no, I didn't see those videos because, like she said, it's profitable to dog black women. So it wasn't until he got on there and told a woman that she was average, and she didn't, even though she made 6 figures, she didn't deserve a 6-figure man. That's what blew up, and that's when he came on my timeline. That stuff before, I came to see it closer to his death, but I never saw it before. He wasn't popping.
So
but one thing I do want to.
My question is this. Hold on, real quick. So he's talking about black women. However many episodes of that. Black women keep calling. He not calling these women.
I didn't understand that either. Because I'm not calling in to get abused, and I'm not calling myself a 3.
But I'm just saying, of all of these women,
that's part of the problem.
You can't be a size motherfucking, I don't know how women say 32 and think that this man is you didn't watch his shows. You know what he's about to say to you. You know he's about to get in your ass.
But Marcus, but listen though, why this is part of the problem. Why aren't you calling yourself a 3 if you are a 3?
Because I ain't.
I know you, Marion. I know you're not.
But I understand what you're saying. When you're talking as a collective, okay, you may be a 7 or 8 in looks, but when it comes to everything else, your finances, your credit, and all of this other type of shit,
I think
are you still a 7 or 8? Well, he said you can't use 7. So if you can't use 7, what are you?
And I think every woman should learn how to to see themselves as a 10, period.
I disagree with that.
Because somebody is going to see you.
That's absolutely
somebody's going to see you.
Somebody is not going to see you. You're making stuff. You're just making stuff up. Somebody's going to see you, and that's why we can't date. If I'm dealing with a woman that's actually a 5, in reality she is a 5. She may be overweight. She may be average looking, but she's saying that she's a 10. Then that messes up our balance. Because in her mind, she's a 10. And here I am, just a little old 6. I only make $50,000 a year. I'm a 6. But meanwhile, she is an actual 5 or 4. And this is why all these women end up not married, mad, blaming men for everything.
I agree that a lot of women feel like they are good women. In reality, they're really the fuck not.
Right.
And it's like when you ask, what makes you such a good woman? And it's, oh, I cook, I clean.
God. How do you let the say I'm like Beyonce? I'm like Beyonce. What?
Listen,
we went all the way back. I just want to say something real quick because I can't see the more, but I don't disagree with everything that you stated. But we have talked about honesty, and women may think I'm crazy for this, but we've been talking about honesty and how important it is to be honest. Everything starts with the Black woman, okay? The 2 Black men on this platform with us right now come from a Black woman. You went down the list of saying how Black women have stepped in for Black men for generations and generations and generations. Imagine the hurt and the bitterness that a Black woman carries for stepping in for that Black man, which then means that we now hold resentment towards that Black man, which means that we now don't give them the space to be and state who they are without us blindsided by our resentment, our hate, our bitterness, and everything else from the ways that we've had to stand up for them, the ways we had to defend for them, the ways we've had to pave the way for them. We can't now see past the hurt that has come from generations of what we've done for the Black man. So now we can't sit in space to hear their truth because our hurt overshadows their truth.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because if a Black woman laid down her life for the Black man, and the Black man is told that he is supposed to protect and provide, he's supposed to be the one to lead, but in reality, the Black woman is the one leading. Who gonna have the resentment? The woman or the man?
Why is she having resentment? How is he treating her to make her have resentment?
And a man wants a woman to hear
That's
him
a good question.
out. I can't hear you. I can't hear your truth because your truth is now tainted with my hurt feelings. Your truth is now tainted with my bitterness from everything I've had to carry from generations for the Black man. So now I'm not even in a position to hear what he has to say, which means we discredit the Black man's voice. We don't save space for the Black man. We don't even allow them to sit in a space with us and have a truth. We don't give them that option because we fight it with our own hate, with our own hurt, with our own disappointment that's come from the choices we've made to carry them. That is truth. That is something.
I don't get it. Like, when are we not letting them speak? When are we? I don't understand. When are we not giving them the space and opportunity? If a Black man wants to do anything, he has the space and opportunity to do it. So I'm not understanding. When do we get in the middle?
Him speaking his truth, or are we tainted by the hurt that we feel from that Black man to where we're not hearing him? It's a different.
I think it depends on the situation. Are you talking in a relationship? Or are you talking on a global
This don't even have to be romantic relationship. This is brotherhood and sisterhood at this point. I need to be able to sit in a space with Marcus and Poke and allow them to express themselves honestly and truthfully without Ashley's hurt from her past or the past that came before her to be able to hinder what she hears from Marcus and Poke. I need to be able to sit in a space with them and not discredit their voice. Because their voice means just as much as our voice. In the moment that we get to a space of understanding that as Black men and Black women, we could then come together. And it's not a man versus woman. It's us together. But it's so much hurt that's been fostered over these generations that it's hard for us to distinguish what's even ours.
I guess I'm just not understanding what I don't understand what you mean, because I'm like, the men, they have the opportunity to say whatever they would like to say.
But I guess the point she's making is that y'all aren't, even though we have the space to say what we want to say, like, y'all aren't hearing us.
You're not.
But I think in what context? Because in this context, a lot of what y'all said, I actually agreed in. The first time that I ever disagreed was actually when Ashley said something. It wasn't when the 2 men said something. So when you say that about this hurt and this bitterness, it's like, in what context are you talking about? Are you talking, is it interpersonal? Are you talking on a global scale? Because from this call, this time, I actually agreed a lot of the things what Polk said, especially when he was talking about the different things of the relationships. I first disagreed when we said about Black women and men coming together, because I think there's a lot of work that Black men have to do in order for that to happen, because there's no accountability when a woman has been hurt.
Black women have to do in order for that to happen. It's not just the Black man that has to carry that work. Black women have to do that work. And
we know Black women do, but I'm saying Black men are not even holding each other accountable for that to be done.
Hold each other accountable in telling and living in truth, because the Black woman has to do just as much work as the Black man, and we control the narrative. So if we
what are Black men not holding other Black men accountable for?
Right. I want to know this.
And held each other accountable for the work that we have to do, then the Black man may just feel okay about the work that they have to do, because the woman.
No, I think Black women hold each other accountable all the time.
But I want to know what Black men, what are we not holding each other accountable for?
I think
because a lot of things, as far as like deadbeat dads, a lot of us, not everybody's not going to say something about it at all times, but a lot of us like, yo, I wouldn't really want to be cool with somebody who's not taking care of their kids or any type of thing like that. So is there anything else that what are we not being faithful to our wives?
On a large scale, Black men, you do not see them holding each other accountable when it comes to economics, when it comes to brotherhood, when it comes to the treatment of Black women. There is oftentimes a lot of talk in Black male spaces in which Black men are degraded. I'll give you an example. I think it was Ashley on here that said, can we not use the B word? It wasn't Polk. That's an example of a Black woman holding a man accountable, not a Black man saying, you know what, we got ladies on tonight, let's cut this out.
But I've heard the B word from women multiple times on here, and ain't nobody one time said, hey, shorty, we don't use that word.
I'm not coming at you like that. I'm just giving you an example.
But I'm just saying, women say, you said women hold each other accountable. I've never heard anybody use the B word more than women to each other. Bitch, you know what I just got off the phone. Come on, man. Y'all say that shit all of the time, and it's never checked. Never.
Yeah,
it's not the same though.
And that's the thing.
It's not the
same. Why? I'm trying not to use it in a derogatory.
One, it has a different meaning.
No, this bitch over here, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
You're not a woman.
Meaning. But what I was saying was that I was giving. I'm giving you an example. Connotation.
So how do you think it feels when y'all call a dude a bitch?
I don't do that. I will not do that.
I'm just disrespectful. But that's a disrespectful. Anytime I've heard a woman say that to a guy, it is her doing that, and it like she's angry and she's purposely, intentionally.
So when Candy said earlier,
kind of belittle him.
Go be with that bitch.
I don't talk like that.
I'm not saying that, but when she said it, I looked at everybody's face on her when she said that, and nobody twitched the eye, nobody turned their face up, nothing.
You are
not one time. But she was this. If we're going to say it's disrespectful, she said it. She said it in a way.
But that was somebody yes, because that's the woman sleeping with her man. So yes, she do get all the disrespect.
That's a woman not holding another woman accountable in the disrespect that she's given towards another woman.
Okay, so all I'm saying is
respect us.
If we're gonna hold everybody accountable, let's do that. Let's not pick and choose when we're allowed to say the word, when we're allowed to say.
I think there's a difference in someone speaking their own truth about their own experience and individual. I think when Candace said that, when she said that, that was literally in reference to an interpersonal relationship that we don't have all the inner workings and dynamics of, in which she said. It wasn't another woman on this call. It wasn't just in blatant, like, just saying it all willy-nilly. Like that wasn't the thing. And also that wasn't even a continuous part of her conversation. It was one comment that she made in regards to if someone was sleeping with her man, and that's her truth. That's what happens in that. But I didn't bring that up, Marcus, in order for us to talk about whether to say it or not. I gave an example of what I mean when you ask about accountability of men. And what do I mean? What I'm saying is there have been in multiple spaces. It's oftentimes I've gone into barbershops, I've gone into different spaces and seen where a man has done something to a woman and another man has viewed it, or they're talking about a woman in a certain way and another man does not jump in. It is the woman that's in the room that says, hey, can we not do that? There's kids in here. Hey, can we not do that? You know, so you don't see on a large scale, by and large, I'm not talking an individual, of a men holding each other accountable in the same way. Because at the end of the day, women, as we raise up boys as far as like our sons and our brothers, but after a certain age, when they become men have to hold men accountable in the same way that women have to hold women accountable. It's a certain thing that a woman can pull me aside and say something to me.
I got a question though.
Different.
I got a question. She said that women raise these boys. So why did these women raise these boys to not uplift a woman?
I believe that these women.
I'm raising mine too.
I know.
Most women. I believe that these women have done that. But I believe that these women have done that. But as we know, as children, and we all were raised as children, and now we are all adults. You come to a point in your life where you are able to make your own individual decisions, and you come to a stage in life where you are then oftentimes more impacted by the decisions that you make and the people who you are around. There is so many people who come from one household, they come from one faith, they come from one value system, and it completely changes when they are an adult. Why? Because of life circumstances, individual choice. It's not always that these women have done wrong and they built up these men incorrect. No, that I don't believe that.
So let me get this right.
A lot of Black women, they have built them in that. It is their own life choices. When they go to high school, they go to college, who did they then become friends with? What are they see? How are they influenced by pop culture? What other decisions have they made?
So
who are the other men that they're around? Because at the end of the day, at a certain age, they don't see themselves in another man's eyes. They're no longer going to see themselves as my son.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Give you the floor again. You don't have to stop talking. But I just want to be sure. I want to be sure I'm hearing you correctly here. Now, we all got children. We raise our kids, right? And we know that our kids at a certain age, they may do one or two things outside of what we raised them to do. But I want to get this right, Elena. So you're saying that on a collective, Black women are raising their boys to love Black women and be uplifting a Black woman. But when they go off to college or when they turn 20 and 21 years old, on a collective, they just rebel against that and start disrespecting Black women. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying every single Black man is going and doing that. No, what I'm saying is
you said on a collective.
As a collective, I'm saying when we talk about what we're seeing as far as how Black men oftentimes are mistreating Black women, oftentimes those Black men who do that have then had other life experiences that came in the middle between mama raising them from time that, they're a little infant and a teenager to now they're an adult, and now they see themselves in the eyes of other men. They see themselves in a different way of society.
So what are we classifying as mistreatment? What are we classifying mistreatment of Black women?
Oftentimes the fact that abuse, the cheating, lying, the fact that oftentimes a lot of Black men are not. This is
not a Black issue. This is not a Black issue. This is a human issue of people lie just in general. People cheat in general. People engage in violence, no matter what race of people you are.
Absolutely.
There's all kind of white women getting their ass whooped right now.
You absolutely right.
So I want to know what it is specifically to Black women that Black men are doing that outside of anybody else is doing. Like, they're doing so much better. Why don't you take the blueprint from those people over there?
Yeah, but we're not talking about them right now. We're on a platform of talking about
and I understand
Black things and Black issues and
so
Black,
is this something as Black people that more the majority of women are dealing with, or just the mistreatment of Black men?
I would say protection. Other races protect their women, period.
Depending on the situation.
That's why I wanted. I didn't finish my thought earlier, Marcus, because that's what I want. When I was so glad that Ashley started us on this path, because actually, Poke, I wanted to challenge you on it's not my job to protect you, because me, as I'm a Pan-Africanist, I don't know everybody else's school of thought. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and so I think we all should be one. And the way to heal the community is for us to come together.
I 100% disagree with
and
that,
heal.
All of those people do not identify like we do. So I'm not even with the.
I understand that. I'm just saying, but even
people of that diaspora do not identify as Black Americans, and they don't give a shit about.
So I'm not.
Yeah. But even still, I'm talking about even us right here in America, us African Americans, as if we Black men and Black women are going to come together and heal and fix our community, we have to stop saying things like, it's not my job to protect you, because I believe that we should be protective of one another, stranger or not. If we could get to the point where we have so much healing to where I'm walking down the street and I don't know Pope from a can of paint, but he's in a situation where me as a woman can deter it, and I choose to do so, and vice versa. If I'm being cornered by some men, Black, white, or indifferent, and he deters it because I'm just another Black woman, that's when we get to the point where we can heal. But saying things like, it's not my job to protect you, that's not going to get us anywhere.
I think that in context it's differently. Like, I don't think any Black man is just going to allow walk by and allow a woman just to be getting her ass whooped. I think when we're talking about a dating thing and me not having to,
I think it's all. I think it all can be connected.
May I respond to that? Please?
Go ahead.
I mean, okay, it's not the same thing. I was very specifically clear. I said when it comes to dating.
That's what I said.
Now, I don't know no Black man. If I seen a Black woman in public getting harmed, I will go to war for that woman. Period. Point blank. And on a large collective, Black men protect their woman more than any other man. The white man don't protect his woman. The white man,
don't they?
They will sacrifice the shit out of that white woman.
They do not.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Let me finish my thought, please, Candy, please. But on a large collective, you see the Black man. We don't have a woman. We don't have a woman. What I mean by that is, we can't tell you what to wear. The white man done told the white woman they can't even wear a miniskirt. We don't pay you unfairly. The white man actually pays their woman unfairly. We don't have any control over our woman. We can't say, don't go here, don't go there, don't work there, don't work there. We are the only group in the world where our woman is paid more money than we are, and that's done by design. But my sister Elena came back today and said, you know what? If this man don't make X amount of dollars, he can't even speak to me. And she completely skipped over the fact that that is by design, because it is.
I'm sorry, that's an excuse. You right, I did. I don't care about no design, and I also did when mass incarceration and stuff has happened. But I also understand that if a man wants to do well for himself, he will.
Oh no!
If a man wants to do better for himself, he will.
Let me know when I can finish, sister.
But you still don't feel like it's designed for the Black woman.
Just we're talking about disrespect. I mean, you completely just interrupted me while I was speaking. I never did nothing like that to you. But you want to tell me about respect, huh? What kind of respect is that to an older man?
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
So,
People been interrupting each other all night.
But go ahead.
Now you want to be ages? Because that's ages.
All right, I'm done. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, even what she was talking about with some things, like there were things that put into design, like the whole welfare system. So they'll say, you know what I mean? Hey, we will give you X amount of dollars and pay for this, pay for that, as long as that Black man is not in your home. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, oh, I don't care about the design. I mean, if you want to make things, you'll do that. But that's not really the case.
Most frustrating part is they'll talk about white supremacy with us all the way up until that money part. When you talk about money, then they don't care about that. They don't see that no other woman makes more money than their man on the planet. But they think that that's not by design. And that's the frustrating part. And also, I'll tell you what else is frustrating. All of this is over $10,000. The average Black man makes $40,000 in America. The average white man makes $50,000 in America. But look how the Black woman treats us over that $10,000. But she's going to sit here and tell us that we disrespect them and we don't protect them. You've never seen.
We do have a whole. We do have a whole culture that's built on the degradation of Black women. And yes, it has taken a turn and we're accepting it and that's our liberation and all that stuff, but it didn't start that way. So.
But again, I know it was said on I don't know if it was on my show when I think Gab was saying Black men have never oppressed Black women. We've never done it. You know, we've never had y'all under our thumb. So
yes, y'all did.
When have we ever oppressed Black women?
What do you mean? Women couldn't even work at a point in time.
That wasn't because of us. Black men didn't do that.
But that's not our fault that we make more than y'all. That's not our
Thank
fault.
you. Stop blaming us for being successful.
I didn't.
Nobody blamed y'all. We said it's by design of why you make more money than we do. Nobody said, God damn it, you shouldn't be. I'm pissed off at you because you.
But you are still making it an issue. So yes, they'd be like, oh, back in the day, you know, women were more this and more that. Yeah, they were because they had to be. They had to stay with Joe with 2 fucking households because she couldn't go to work. She couldn't make no money. So, you know, it's a little different now because.
So what did the single Black women do back then?
Hold on. But what Marcus,
what do you mean? They was on welfare.
Right. But what Marcus.
Welfare didn't always exist.
The Black woman.
It didn't. But at that point, it did.
Every Black woman wasn't married and had to stay with some dude.
And they were on welfare.
Before there was a welfare
white
system.
People that get welfare than Black people
of the household. If that woman was on welfare, they were keeping the Black man out of that household.
And then not only that,
was not allowed.
Wait a minute, but
that Black man, what? I think, and we can't say names, but one of my homeboys just broke this down. If you think about Valley Terrace, VT, was the Black man allowed to be on the lease? Was the Black man allowed to be on that property for more than X amount of days before he was told to get off of that property? The Black woman that was a single woman that had to have support by welfare, they strategically took that Black man out of the household.
Correct.
In the moment that Black man wanted to then build a future, a life with that Black woman, that welfare was saying, I'm not going to provide for your kids, and now I'm going to make him do it. And then that then puts the weight and the pressure on that Black man to now provide for that household. That is a different type of pressure that we as Black women do not understand that the Black man carries. And we have to stop doing that so that they can get to a space in knowing that it is okay for us to be able to support you, for you to trust us, for you to lean on us, because I understand the weight that you have to carry in providing and protecting for this household.
I don't agree with that, and I won't.
I'm sorry, I don't either.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing my mama.
Challenge.
If you lay down and we had a baby or whatever, and we both working,
if you get a chance, watch the movie Claudine. It's going to give you the.
I've seen Claudine, and that was horrible.
But that's what that's what
I get that. That's what you know. That is my frustration with these type of conversations is because that's the only thing we can talk about. We always go back to the welfare thing. Yes, Black people was on welfare,
but it evolved itself.
There is more white people.
It has evolved.
We know but I'm saying it. Yes, we know that those things happen. We know mass incarceration. We know that they pitted us against each other during the welfare era. I'm saying, can we evolve past that? Because
how can we evolve
women
that when we still hurt from that?
Now we argue about Democrats and Republicans.
So right now, so a Black man can't go get a job. So a Black man can't go to school now and not sell or do whatever he needs to do. He can't now not make babies that he doesn't want to take care of. He can't go get a job. He can't go to school. He can't decide to open up his own business. Black men can't do that by and large.
Hey, Mark, can I say something real quick? I got to
all right, go ahead, Pope, before you got to roll.
You know what? This goes back to what I was saying about peace. And right now, this is affecting my peace. You feel me? And so I put it to you just like this, man. You want to put everything on Black men. You know what? We'll try to do better, man. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't got time to sit here and argue and point the finger about who's done worse. The sister, the Black men is just a detriment to the community. Let her believe it, man. But I'm not
I
going
never
to
said that.
I'm not going to let that affect my piece. And I'm on that, man. If y'all have any other questions or if you want to talk real quick, you can talk. But this took a drastic turn, and I'm not about to sit here and listen to some male black. Because Marcus, one real quick thing. We can never sit on your platform.
Oh, come on, Poke.
No, y'all.
I know Candy is not going to let us sit here and bash black women. So I'm not going to
What did I sit through 2 weeks ago?
Where was
it? What did I sit through 2 weeks ago?
I was never bashing black women. I was never
bashing peace within. Then for you to be able to have a nuanced conversation, because it's group, ain't no group thought. Everybody don't agree with every single thing. I never bash black men, but I call for us black men to have accountability for each other.
And we asked, I don't think we've ever got an answer of really what we're not holding each other accountable for.
Definitely did.
The other two ladies brought up protection, and I brought up other things, and then you said that those were also things that white men do. And I was saying that us, by and large, as black people, because right now,
so how do I hold Poke accountable for not protecting his lady? What do I do?
So it's the personal relationship that you are in with him. Do you sit down and have a man-to-man conversation with him? Do you tell him that, hey, yo, that's not cool? Do you challenge him as a man to do more for the women in his life?
And let's say I do all of that, and he still wants to go about the way he's living life.
You're doing all you can do.
Then you're doing all you can do. But
is he really held? When I'm talking about being held accountable, he could completely blow me off and feel like he's doing nothing wrong. At the end of the day, was he held accountable for what it is that he's doing?
But that's the case with any and everybody.
That's the first step.
So there's really no accountability being held, regardless of if somebody says something. I feel like somebody in themselves, they have to hold themselves accountable. I can't go to somebody else's house and be like, listen, man, this is what you got to do. Like when we're talking about politics and all that and holding politicians accountable, okay, listen, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, guess what? We don't vote for you again. You're held accountable if you don't do what you're supposed to do. There's nothing I can do to another black man to make him do something for his black woman. Absolutely nothing. It's what he.
Because you just said if you were on deadbeat dad, but you said if there was a deadbeat dad, you would not be around him. So if you were the same one, like I can't be around a dude that don't treat his queen right, then it could be the same thing.
And listen, and me not being around, wanting to be around a deadbeat dad. Me not wanting to be around a deadbeat dad is just because I don't hang out with him no more does not mean he's going to start to be a good dad.
But if it becomes a societal thing, if it becomes a cultural thing where it's a lot of them and and don't nobody want, he's a pariah because he don't treat his queen right and he don't take care of his kids, then the change will come.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but from some things that I have read, they're saying black men take care of their kids more than pretty much any other race in this country.
Yeah, so I brought that up because you brought that up. I'm not saying that. Yeah,
more than majority of us are taking care of our kids and aren't deadbeat dads, and we are holding ourselves responsible and accountability for handling our responsibilities as far as our families are concerned. So.
This is where
no, I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's a cultural thing. You have those elders that will say you need to take care of that seed you got. Like it is in and of yourself and you choose, but it's also a cultural thing. So I'm saying if we cared about our kids, if we cared about the way black men treated their black women in the same way that we care about how good of fathers they are, we would see a change. If we did it collectively.
Okay, listen. What Ilana is saying isn't even my reality, and this is what I'm saying. We're talking about something that ain't.
Welcome to my life.
We're saying, listen. I don't know this. I don't know that. Anytime that I'm around a friend of mine's or another brother, if they caught me cheating or they see me out with someone, they would, without any question, be like, bro, what is you doing? Without any question. They will hold me accountable. So like the stuff that she's saying, I don't know what she's talking about. And she acts like as if she's a man and she's in our inner circles. You know, when it comes to abortion, y'all tell us, oh, do you have a vagina? Then you can't talk about this. I don't think she can talk about what she's talking about. She don't know what we talk about. She don't know if we hold each other accountable. Because I'm just saying, I know for a fact, If I call my homeboy up like, yo, if so and so asks, tell her I was with you. Why? Oh, I'm gonna be with someone else. They'd be like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? They would hold me accountable. So I'm not going to sit here and argue about what men do with a woman that don't even know what men do. I'm not. This has gotten goofy.
And especially when we talk about how women hold each other accountable for so much stuff. And I don't really believe that y'all are just, that is that way. I really don't, because I be around women, I hear and I see things, and I don't see anybody checking nobody for real because of the bullshit that they doing. I don't see all on social media. Motherfuckers talking about their baby dads. This motherfucker, this ain't not a single comment is, come on, sis. Don't do this. Take this down. This ain't cool. You making yourself look like a fool on here. You the motherfucker who had kids with him 3 times.
Right.
Yes, they do say that.
And I get
very rarely.
But
No, it's not.
Because it's
Yes,
just
it
because it's
No,
not
it's not.
happening in your community or in your circle doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Well, where's it happening?
Okay, so why can't we have that same? Why can't we have that same courtesy?
Where's it happening? How would you know? How would you know where it's happening?
Go on social media, by and large.
Social media, man.
You can see how black men are talking.
That's her education. So social media is real to her. All right. Listen, Alana. You really don't know if men hold each other accountable or not, man. You don't know this. You're just saying stuff because you be looking on social media. You don't know what we do. Sometimes, and this is another thing that makes me mad. Like, ladies, let's not front. Y'all really don't understand men too much. But then when a man is trying to tell you about us, tell you our nature, tell you how we get down, you want to argue with us? Elena, like, where'd you get this knowledge of what men do?
I'm getting it from everything that I've actually
social media.
There's actual studies and things out there
Like
about
social media.
treated. There's
Like
also
social media.
how are black women treated? Like black women, I think it was Malcolm X who said that we were the most disrespected.
Not by us, by them. See, listen, man.
Not necessarily
this
black.
is
No.
real.
It's also by black men.
No,
Black men.
Malcolm X didn't say that. Now you're making stuff up.
But
Now you're making stuff up.
the question becomes, is this respectful? Are you respecting Poke? Is Poke respecting you? Are you giving him the space to talk? Is he giving you?
Well, when someone
space?
calls you out of your name because of something that you said because they don't agree with something when you wasn't, I never came for black men. I came for people.
Where's
I
that
said,
Oh, you about-
yes, he did several times. He called me a man.
I called you a man.
No, he
Yes,
said.
you
I
did.
remember
You were-
him saying, acting as if she's a man.
You know what? She's
What is
lying now, man. Now
So
she's
what is
I don't
that?
remember
If I
her
say
saying,
you're
like,
acting
you're
like
a
you're
man.
I'm calling you something. I'm saying that is what you are. That's
So
that's what he said.
this conversation is the perfect example of everything that we do not give the black man a space for him to speak his truth.
I don't think we give black women a space unless
It
it's
is
agreeing
not
with
a
black.
lie. We are not as black. We are not sitting in the barbershop. It's not our territory. And when we walk into our territory, it is clear as day that it is not our territory. Let me tell you, it's not our territory. The same way it's not their territory to sit in the hair salon.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Ashley, but you are right, because sitting in barbershops, I have been in plenty of barbershops, and we'll be having certain conversations, whether that's about women and we cussing up a storm and all that case. As soon as a woman and a kid walks in,
no, it don't happen. That do not happen no more. That does not happen no more. That's why my child has locks, because I could not take him to the barbershop because they would not change the conversation around me and my child. That does not happen anymore.
I see it, and I go. Listen, I go to the barber. I go to the barbershop. I go to the barbershop just to hang out periodically and just brush up on conversation. When a kid walks
my baby was 3 years old up in Burt's, and them niggas was saying all manner of evil.
Okay, and when older, I know it's happened over at Ambridge with Dame Shop. It happens at Ruse. I know it happens down at Legends. When people of certain caliber come in there, little kid, and a lot of times there's a lot of kids in Legends. The last times I was in there. There's not a whole bunch of cussing and talking about, fucking this, that kind of shuts down for a little while. And if it doesn't shut down, then maybe one of the barbers like, yo, chill out, man. It's kids in here. And you're like, oh, okay, my bad.
Not
my
one.
bad.
Not
Well,
once
I'm
did I
not gonna
take
say
my
that they don't.
baby a
I'm not
haircut.
gonna say that they don't. But
and I've even Candy, I've even told you before, Candy. I'm sorry to cut you off. Like I don't feel like I always tell my son's mother, there's no reason for you to be at the barbershop.
And
if my son needs to get a haircut or whatever the case is, you drop him off. And then you come back and get if you have to do so, or I'm going to take him, or some male needs to take him. I don't feel like a barbershop is a place for a woman because I know how things go. You walk in there, you're an attractive woman, you got a nice body and all of that shit. We are talking crazy. Well, I want to say we're talking crazy about you, but we are.
And there's the protection. There's that protection right there.
What protection? We are giving our thoughts of how we think that how you look. And, you know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect. What do you mean protection?
That's what they do in the barbershop.
We are speaking our minds about a nice looking woman with a fat
but
ass.
it's not just the barbershop. I had to deal with that just taking my son to football practice. So, and they're saying stuff in front of the kids. I have a son. Like, what I'm supposed to do? Not let my kid do nothing?
It's not that you don't.
What I'm supposed to do?
Listen,
I don't have male support. I don't have male support.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. When
I have a son, I have a son as well. I have a son as well. So what I do with my son, because I have a son as well, okay? And there's certain conversations that I'm going to have with my son about women. And it may be a thing like, listen, look over there, son. Look at her bent over like that. You know what I'm saying? Look, thing nice looking, ain't it? But that's the kind of camaraderie that I want to have with my son, just to make sure things are still okay on your end, bro. Is that something that you know what I mean? Because my son's, he's a little older now. So you kind of want to feel that out of which direction are you going, son? So it's not no out of no.
I understand that, but are you making that woman feel uncomfortable? Are you having a private conversation with your son, or are you making that woman feeling uncomfortable?
I'm not.
But I'm saying, does she hear you? Does she hear you? Are you making it obvious? And that's my point. No. That's my point. I, as a curvier woman, have dealt with so much disrespect.
What's and the disrespect? You saying how nice your body is?
Yes. Why are you constantly having to talk? You have no idea. I can't walk down the fucking street.
Where is the disrespect of a man saying that he's attracted to your body?
So
first of all, realize you're not the only one. Realize that I can't walk down the street. I can't walk into the store. I can't buy a gallon of milk without somebody saying something. It's inundating. It's scary. Like when all men, all they do is look at you like they want to undress you. It gets frustrating and it's scary. It's scary that you can't walk down the street without somebody undressing you with their eyes. It's scary. I'm sorry.
Wow. So now it's disrespect how we look at you. We are attracted to what
it's the comments. It's the comments. You can look at me all you want. I know you're not blind. I know how I'm shaped. But the fact that you feel the need to always let me know. Every single man that I pass always feel the need to let me know.
All of these posts and all of this shit that I see and hear women talking about sweatpants season, and if you ain't got this and that, like y'all baby, listen, my face.
You ain't never seen me post that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, and a lot of shit that you're talking about, all men don't do either.
Okay,
but you see a lot of it.
But I'm telling you what my experience is just walking down the street is what my point is. And so
staring at you
me being a mother of a young boy who is involved in sports, who might need a lineup, I should be able to go around black men and they should be able to tighten up. Now, when I leave out the door, they are gonna be like, "Oh, did you see that thing? That's fine." But while I'm there, can you make sure I'm comfortable? Like, why do I have to feel uncomfortable?
The barbershops
Marion, you're right. You're right about that. You're right.
I don't see a lot of guys in barbershops continue to talk about you like you're not there.
But
I've never seen that.
Listen, I done went through two whole football seasons then having to deal with that mess.
You're right. You should not have to deal with that. I'm not gonna sit here. You shouldn't have to deal with that. You're right. You're right. You shouldn't have to deal with that. But let me say this though, that is not a black woman issue. That is a woman issue. Because white women gotta walk into same places and get treated the same way. Asian women walk into same places and get treated the same way by Asian men. And let me say something that's very important. When it comes to protection, we protect our woman like no other on a larger scale. Do you realize that the Black community is the only community that does not have an open market for child and woman sex? There's nowhere in the Black community where somebody can go and say, yo, where the kids at? Yo, where's the little girls at? We paying for that. You could do that in the white neighborhoods. You could do that across seas. You could go to China and find a kid just like that. Go to the right neighborhood, we can find a kid. We protect our neighborhoods more than you know on a larger scale. But on a small scale,
you protect the children.
On a small, there's nowhere where you could go on as far as a network to go and get young women.
There's Black and African child brides. That's not true.
I'm not talking about Africa. I'm talking about right here.
Black men right here in America. That's not true. You're
okay.
Lying.
Wait. Tell me what there is again.
Because you can go. Yes, they're in Black communities in America. That does happen. Rape and incest and all that stuff happens to children in Black.
Alana, you are not listening to me. What I'm saying is, if in a Black community, if there's incest or rape going on, that is shunned. I'm saying there is no market to go to. I can't go down to Aliquippa right now with $100 and be like, hey, y'all, where the 15-year-old girls at? I got $100. I cannot do that. Black
that might be Aliquippa, but I'm saying that's not every Black hood in America. I know for a fact that's just not. That's not true.
You interrupted me twice. I'm gonna demand some respect from you right now.
Come on, Pope.
No, I respect her.
No, you don't. You are one of the most disrespectful men I have ever met.
Okay, now this is getting a little too hot and heavy for me.
Yeah, let's go ahead and finish with Pope. Did you have who was making a point?
I started.
Yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is globally, you could go to most any other races and you can find a network where you can safely buy kids and young women. You cannot do that in the Black community. We do protect our women and our children, at least on that level. And for somebody to not be able to say, you know what, at least on that small level, you do protect us, men. That shows you the level of hatred and the level of bitterness or level of dislike that she has for Black men.
I mean, even if you look,
and when someone makes those type of judgments about me, because you don't know me at all, that tells me, because I'm spitting facts. You talk about Aliquippa.
No facts at all.
Is that we have a national issue of Black girls in this country going missing. So if Black men was doing what they were supposed to do,
that could be by white people. That could be by white people. That ain't Black people. That could be by white people.
Children go missing all the time.
No. What should Black men do about Black women disappearing?
So you can't say that. But what I'm saying, you sit up that's spitting ill facts. Maybe in your hood at Aliquippa, that's beautiful.
I don't live in Aliquippa.
Take money down there and do that.
I think
it's not a national issue when we know that there's Black girls and Black women that go missing all the time.
That's not what I said, Elena. You are not listening to me. I didn't say Black women don't go missing. What I said, I'll say it again. I said there is no market where someone can go and buy a Black child or Black woman safely in our community. It does not exist.
Usually the Black community, we have a code against doing things with kids.
If you do it, you did it at your own risk, and if somebody find out, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah, that's usually something.
Marcus, so why is it all these Black girls being raped and they are being missing out of the Black community?
Marcus, I want to answer your question though. I want to answer Marcus's question real quick because I'm like MB. I live in Cleveland. Alana is from Cleveland. We have a lot of mutual friends, Black men friends who are in Cleveland. It is very different from Beaver County. I will tell you that a larger city is a lot different from what we know in Beaver County. When there was an issue a few years ago with I can't correct me, Alana, if I think it was kids were going missing. Or bullying or something. There was something going on, and Black men that we know got up early and went before they went to work and stood on the bus stops of different schools to make sure that kids got to school safely. So, Marcus, when you ask what can Black men do,
until the money and the cameras went away. So that's why you gotta miss me with that, because I do that work.
But
I do that work.
Yeah, y'all don't know who y'all talking. I will say y'all don't know who y'all talking to.
You don't know.
But yet and still, I still. Is it a fact that black women? Is it a fact that black women and black kids are going missing at the hands of black men, and that we're the reasons that this is happening?
Does it matter?
No, but my point is
so
black men do have they. So just like they were standing on the corners, even though it ended up stopping, that's something that can happen. We can do things within our communities to put things in place to make sure that black women are safer. You can see this statistic and say, okay, what can we do? And they can together do something to protect our community. And that doesn't happen, or I haven't seen it happen outside.
Where I'm from, we've had many instances in the predominantly black neighborhood. We call it the hood, whatever, predominantly black neighborhood. Little black girls have gone missing. Little black girls walk to school and say, there's a white van that is driving around. That white van is being driven by a black man. And they're saying, hey, this is what's going on in our community. They're telling people at the schools, they're telling people at the police that this is happening. So maybe in Aliquippa, that's not a thing. But in the work that I have done,
you know what?
Jalila, inner city in the last 20 years, 30 years, a lot of stuff has happened with black girls and black women.
Go ahead, Jalila.
And men ain't standing up for them.
Go ahead, Jalila.
So white men couldn't be kidnapping these black girls now.
Totally.
Maybe.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
The fact that you are like, oh, it's white men coming into the neighborhood. If it was white men coming into the hood stealing black girls, why? Because what you said was nowhere can somebody come with $100 and get a kid. Right. And what I'm saying is that cannot be true because we know for a fact multiple hoods and multiple communities, these kids is being missing.
Go ahead, Jalila.
Because I get what she said, but I think what Pope was trying to say is like, yes, of course, black girls get raped. I am a rape survivor. Black girls go missing. And yes, sometimes that is at the hands of black men. But what he's saying is like, there are literally brothels and buildings in other communities across the world, across the US, where you can literally, I'm leaving a bar and I'm going to this address to go pay for this little girl. We don't have those. We don't have sex houses where we're just selling little black girls as sex slaves all around the black community. No. Now, yes, is it happening? Type? Absolutely. Is it just a publicly hate that's just like our societal norm? No. Yes, they are being taken. Yeah, kids probably being kidnapped and turned into sex slaves, but that's still on some underground shit. In places, it's just as natural as I'm going to buy bread. It's not lap for us. It's not.
And just to piggyback off of that, just to piggyback off of that a little bit. Also, as a lot of these, maybe
I got you.
Because what they'll try to do is they'll try to classify us all as one big black person. You know what I'm saying? But so we have your black Americans, and then you have another guy who is black, but Belizean. He's not even from America, but he looks like us, and they want to say, well, black men, well, he's not even one of us.
That's very true.
But because he looks like us, they'll just put it on the black men. And a lot of times with these black people or so-called black people doing these crimes, they are not black Americans.
Yeah.
They're just not. There's a lot of people that come from somewhere else. They do this crazy stuff. They get caught. They get deported.
That's a fact.
And again, because we all know as a black men, we're not just black men, but black Americans in general, we are the only group of people who can't be deported anywhere. Not a single place. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make that point. Yes, they look black, they look like us, but they don't identify as us. But again, society, especially the dominant society, will just be like, they just one big nigga. And they're not. We're not. So that's my piece on that.
I'm mad because I was trying to talk for like 10 minutes and
I'm sorry, Lear.
I don't forget what I wanted to say now.
My fault. I apologize. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of back and forth going, you know what I'm saying? But I think at the end of the day, you know, a lot of what we need to do is try to be as unified as we possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not going to be perfect. We're all not going to like each other. There's going to be some bashing and all of this, that, and the third. But I just feel like even if we do not all get along, the one thing that I do envy about the dominant society is when it's time for them to get on code, they gonna do it. They gonna hate each other right after all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? White folks fight with each other all the goddamn time. But when it's motherfucking time for us to come together and do shit or get shit done or not get shit done, we all gonna ride for each other. And then we go back to hating each other after all of this shit is over. And that's just how it goes. But we don't have that. We will go back and forth about the stupidest shit. Like I was saying earlier, we will motherfucking fight over who you voting for. You know what I'm saying? Like stupid ass menial shit like that. Like why the fuck are you even voting? For one, you know what I'm saying? But that's some bullshit that we'll constantly fucking fight about. We'll fight about stupid ass religion. Oh, you going to hell. Bitch, why? I'm sorry. Why am I going to motherfucking hell? Because I don't believe in what you do. But that's a whole nother thing that other people don't fucking fight about. I never ever go on social media and see white groups and they talking about who don't believe in what.
Well, I work with a lot of white people and yeah, they do.
I don't see it.
I'm telling you, they do.
Okay, and I get it, but I'm just saying on it. I don't see it as much in the black community. I'm sorry, I see it much more with the black community than I do in other places.
I think a lot of people. Depends on how strongly their faith is, and that's usually them old motherfuckers. I'm sorry.
I feel like your faith doesn't have anything to do with, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you believe it is what you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, all that shit.
It does matter.
But as black people, though, we want to we always want to shun people because you're not a Christian.
They do the same thing, though.
They do the same. Yeah, everybody like.
Well, it seems like they keep it more under wraps than how we do it. We want to blast everybody for that. And I'm saying this because I come from a certain background of being told you're not this, you're not that, you're less than, and if you don't follow this, that, and the third.
But you went to a special church too. Not all.
But it's not just my church, man. It's black churches all across the country that's like the churching around.
I'm not saying that there isn't, but there's a lot of black churches that aren't, because my church ain't like churching around.
And I feel you, but I'm just saying it comes a lot from the black church of being shunned because you're not a certain kind of way. They want to try
but the white people do that too. I'm telling you, if they Catholics, and if you ain't doing this or doing that, and you don't praise Mary, and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all be praising Mary? Because I don't know nothing about being a Catholic. You know what I'm saying? To me,
different shit.
Yeah, so they do.
Subset of black culture, like. Yes, are there toxic black churches, and is there a sector of black church that's very toxic? Absolutely. There's also white Christian nationalists. When a lot of the stuff you're talking about, it comes down to what a person's value system is. It's not stupid. Choosing to not be around someone because of how somebody votes, for some people, that's very important to them. For me personally, if a person votes a certain way, I will not be around them. If a man doesn't vote, I can't be around them because there's a certain value that's attached to that.
Ooh, I wish we could get into that.
Core belief of my very essence. So when you say certain things like, "Oh, this is just dumb," I
say fuck voting simply because I feel like it is the true definition of insanity. You keep voting for a group of people who are constantly telling you, and they'll get on camera and say it to you, do something specifically for black people. No, but we want to fucking run and put Chucks and goddamn pearls on and fucking Timbs.
I have to agree
with
that.
This woman just got on TV and told you she's not about to do nothing for your black ass. But we'll come into all of our churches with hot sauce and doing the latest motherfucking goddamn dance to pander to our asses. But then when we vote for them, then you turn around. We didn't have to vote. They already told us before we voted for them they're not going to do shit. But this is the first black woman who doesn't even identify as a black fucking woman until it's convenient for her.
I would have to agree with that.
But outside of that, it's I'm Indian. I'm this and the third. This motherfucker, and I'm gonna call her a bitch. This motherfucking bitch was going through the goddamn airport with a fucking bag of grains. Some more fucking pandering goddamn tactics. What the fuck is this bullshit about? What are we voting for? You're not going to do anything for me or people who look like me. You're going to tell us you're not going to do shit for us. And then we had an old ass white man get on a black fucking station and say, you're not black if you don't vote for me. White, we know what also he said? He said, white, or what did he say? Poor kids are just as smart as white kids. And then we just want to sit back like, oh, you know, we need to vote anyway. And then we want to vote for the lesser of two fucking evils. Evil, this evil, less evil, it's all still evil. And they don't give a fuck about us.
I feel like it's levels to it.
I just feel like these motherfuckers don't give two shits about us, however the motherfucker you slice it. Again, the true definition of insanity, doing something over and over and over and over and over, expecting a different result and you never get it. And that's what the fuck we have done. Now we're starting to see black people open their goddamn eyes and be like, tangibles. What are you going to do for me? The only reason I feel like young people of a certain age voted for Biden is because they wanted their goddamn student loans forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else was going to vote for that motherfucker for any other goddamn fucking reason. Jim Crow goddamn Joe. Part of the motherfucker who put a lot of people who look like us away in prison for life or got football fucking numbers. For now, shit that's fucking legal. For now, shit that his own son is doing. And who's locking Hunter up? Or whatever one of them goddamn Bidens it is. Nobody. So they sell us all of these motherfucking wolf tickets and y'all want to shame us for not voting. What am I voting for? Please don't tell me, oh, your ancestors died for the right for you to vote. No, my ancestors straight up died for me to have the right to be fucking free, not vote for any fucking white people, for me to be able to do what it is that I want to do. But clearly, here in 2022, us as black people, especially black people, we still don't have a level of fucking freedom. We just don't. And that's what it is. So when people want to talk that bullshit, if you don't vote this, that, and the third, tell me why I need to motherfucking vote. Now, if you want to talk about voting if you want to talk about voting locally in your town or your city, cool, I get that because that directly affects you and shit that you got going on and maybe your school districts and all of that. When we talk about on a national fucking level, what? We got a fucking what's black dude's name on the Supreme Court? Clarence Thomas. You want to sit here and tell us that he's for us? Ketanji Brown Jackson, whatever, is she for us for real? No, I don't believe that she is because you can say whatever it is that you want to say for me, but my thing is, Clarence, you married a white woman, and you're clearly not for us. So anybody who's in a high place that's dating somebody outside of their race, I have to question, who are you really for? What are you really about? What's really your agenda? And they tell you over and over and over and over, our agenda has nothing to do with you. Ice Cube had an agenda for Black America. Everybody laughed at him, including black people. And that's everything that for real black people be wanting. We want you to do this, that, and the third. So all black people who are saying who don't want to vote is, if you don't want to vote, that's cool. Or if you do want to vote, cool, do your thing. But a lot of us are saying, if I vote for you, I'm supposed to get something in return for my vote. And if I'm getting nothing in return for my vote, then what the fuck I'm giving it to you for? Just to say I did it, get me a motherfucking sticker and take a fucking picture and put it on Facebook? I voted. Them votes can kiss my motherfucking ass because it ain't never fucking did shit to help none of motherfucking us. At all. And if you could tell me something and give me something that the voting for president, whoever the fuck else, Senate has helped us, please let me know. And I'm gonna go ahead and land my motherfucking plane. Go ahead, Pope.
I gotta run, man. Hey, god damn, boy, you good shit, man. I agree 100%. But I gotta get ready to go. And before I go, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on the platform. Number one, Candy, it was good seeing you again. It's been a long time.
It has.
Yeah, Ashley, sister, I love your spirit and energy. Alana, I want to say to you, I apologize. I'm sorry. That's not my intentions. Like, the only reason I would get on here and spend 3 hours at a time is because I do love black people. I do love my sisters too. I was frustrated. In order for us to heal or actually make shit work and unite and come together, we cannot play the blame game. In any relationship that you're in, if it's sister and brother, if it's cousins, if it's just co-workers, whatever it is, and you plan on mending that fence, you can't come to the table and be like, yeah, well, you worse than me. you was more wrong than me, and you was way wronger than me. We got to come to the table in good faith and be like, you know what? I hear you, and I could do better. And if it's not about that, then we just gonna be it ain't gonna work. But again, I want to tell you that I apologize. You are a very smart sister, and I like your passion. The dialogue and your opinion is very necessary. So I apologize to you, sister. And other than that, man, I just want to bid everybody a good night. I just have to run. I hate to like not finish, but it's been
that's all good, man. We've been on here for quite a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's usually, you know, especially when me and Candy doing, we usually don't let. It's been a long time since me and Candy did one this long. But I do know that the one I did before this was about, you know, around the 2.5 hour mark as well. But I get it, man. Once you start getting the flow of having certain conversations, and the more people that you have on a platform like this, of course, you feel like the longer it's gonna go because everybody wants to get what they got. You know, everybody want to get their thing off. Yeah. So you know that's just how it go. Now, Poke, you about to be out, or you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank
all
you.
right, Poke. I appreciate you for being on.
Right,
man.
Until next
time.
Poke.
So, Alana, I know that you wanted to go ahead and piggyback off of certain things that was said, you know, especially about the whole voting thing. I know this completely changed, you know, completely different direction from, you know, talking about men needing multiple women, but that's usually how it goes on my show. We start off with one topic and then it usually goes someplace completely different. But I'm sorry, and I mean no disrespect to people who vote, but from my years of being on this planet and when it comes to voting, I've just seen the same thing over and over. And a lot of us are Democrats, you know, that's at least I grew up. I was a Democrat simply because I'm a Democrat because my parents are. You know, out of tradition, I'm going to vote Democrat simply because I know nothing else, and this is all my parents do. Yeah, I know nothing about these candidates, what their plan is or what their agenda is or anything like that. Like even when Obama came into office, I voted for him simply because he was a black dude.
Yeah,
when you nothing else about him.
When you go to vote, people don't know who you voting for, right? But as soon as you walk up there, they handing you a Democratic paper. Here,
correct.
Circle this person.
Which is what they say is illegal.
But that's what they do every time you go.
Right.
Marcus,
go ahead, Ashley.
I was just going to say I need to jump off too, but
okay.
The conversation.
Well, hold on. Before you get off, I just want to do something real quick because I know you have a brand going as well, and if you want to tell us a little bit about your brand and what it is that you got going on, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Okay. I am Ashley R. Wood. I'm the founder and creator of The Solo Journey. I'm a writer. My platform, I currently speak about the generational healing that takes place for us to build a community of love, peace, and healing. Solo is the unaccompanied journey of self-love and authenticity with the purpose of bringing you closer to your personal bounty of God. Right now, I have a web documentary series, a video podcast titled Girl Mom Pilot. Next month, I'm going to be dropping Girl Dad Pilot, which this is kind of preparation for that conversation. It's going to be, so I really appreciate you allowing me to be on the platform today. But yeah, you know, I'm just building and moving in a space so where I can heal myself in order to heal and impact my community. So I appreciate it, you know, everybody's opinion tonight.
Yeah, man, it was cool, and I'm really happy that you came on. Like I said, we had talked briefly earlier this week, and you know, I mean, we was able to come to an agreement, you know, of us me having you on the show. You know what I mean? So I'm very thankful that you were able to make some time because I think I hit you last minute. I think I hit you yesterday early, you know, sometime yesterday afternoon. I was trying to get as many women on the show as I possibly could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have a certain perspective. But again,
your information is on Facebook.
Yep, my information is on Facebook.
Okay, I'm gonna find you on there so I could look it up and look more into it.
Yeah. Love to, like, you know, continue the conversation, continue to work together. I think it's really, really a space for us to come in to be able to unify with our men in a way that is drastically needed for our community. So I'm really interested in seeing where this conversation goes, Marcus. I think that you're doing an amazing job. You really are.
Hey man, I'm just trying to do I'm just trying to do something that's just a little, I don't want to say too much different, because a lot of people are starting podcasts and everything.
Yeah.
But just for what I'm trying to do in the city that I live in, we don't see a lot of this. And the people from where I am from, I try to give everybody a platform to be on, what I mean? And give them a voice if they're doing something, give them some shine and get what it is that they're doing out there, some promotion. So again, there are some difficult conversations that we have, amongst each other that a lot of people don't want to have or they don't want to deal with. And again, when you come onto my show, there's no ill will for anybody. There's no hatred for nobody. It's all love and respect here. You know what I'm saying? But again, like Alana has said earlier today, everybody, we're not a monolith. Is that the correct word? We're not monolithic as people. So everybody is not going to think the same. Everybody's not going to feel the same. And that's just how, that's just fucking what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I think that's what makes things like this so great. Because we all don't think the same and we all have different opinions, and it gives us room to grow and to take things from, from certain people that you may not have looked at, before you got on the show or before you heard whatever. So I do feel like spaces like this are important, especially from a small town that we come from. You know what I mean? I feel like it's always cool because this is going to get out there. And I'm sure at some point, if people make it through these almost 3 hours. Now, I will have to say, my stupid ass, because I'm doing everything and I kind of get sidetracked a little bit with shit. So for the first 8 minutes of this show, I forgot to record the video for the first 8 minutes, but I also have it on audio. So with my audio, which would be on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor, the very beginning of the show and all of that would be on there. But for the first 8 minutes of the actual video recording, I missed. So that kind of sucks, but at least I caught some of it audio. But Alana, I really appreciate you for being on. I thank Miriam for inviting you. Now, she did give me a little heads up. She said, listen, me and this girl that I'm going to invite on here, we think completely differently. And as you started talking, I'm like, that's cool, because I feel like, again, that's shit that we need, you know what I'm saying, as a community to hear, just different perspectives. So everything that you said, I feel like it was cool. I didn't feel like you were, really being disrespectful to anybody or, doing or saying things that you shouldn't. Like I said, on my show, pretty much anything goes. You say what you want, you say how you feel, and you know what I'm saying? And we good with that. But I just want to say again, I really appreciate you for being on. And hopefully, if you do not mind, I would love for you to grace our page again if you're cool with that. Because I think that you would be a good person to have on there, because I haven't done one on politics in a while. I think it's been a little while, right, Candy?
Yeah,
anything about politics.
But it's about time. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's about that time. So I would love to have you back if you would consider being on the show. But when we talk politics.
Thank you for having me. I don't Black men. I love Black men, love Black people. I just will say, when it comes to voting, and something I'm very passionate about, and it just makes me sad because I think that our schools have failed us. Because while it is not the only tool to our liberation, it is one of the most effective tools that we have for our liberation, especially to vote. Because we can't say that we love our people. We can't say that we want to be business owners and we want Black families and we don't vote. And I think, unfortunately,
but the people we're voting for are doing what for us?
Because we don't understand, because our schools have failed us. We don't understand civics. We don't understand laws. We don't understand policies and processes. Because when we actually understand, do I think we got some of the perfect people in office? No, we don't have the perfect people in office. Do I agree with every candidate that runs? No, but I understand that it is about strategy, it is about policies, and what are these people going to put in place? And does it benefit me as a Black person in this country to have somebody in office that's going to have policies and allocate funding to my community so that I can help my son, so that I can help my community? Everything is about politics. And we think because of it's not a direct linkage. And could they do more? Absolutely. Should we be getting reparations? I'm all for reparations. I agree. We need reparations. I don't think that canceling $10,000 student loan ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Me
It
neither.
needs to be more. However, I'm going to sit up there and cast my ballot, and it's different levels. Like you said, it's local, it's state, it's federal. I'm going to cast my ballot for certain individuals who are going to put things in place. And I have to also understand the system and how it works. When we talk about Ketanji Brown, when we could talk about Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court, number one, the Supreme Court, you don't vote for the Supreme Court. The
Correct.
president has to actually appoint them. So who is the president that is running? How many of us are actually educated? Because at the end of the day, Biden was not my choice. I wanted somebody else when we had a primary. But unfortunately, that person didn't make it through the primary. But if we start early and start educating people on the political process, they can understand we can galvanize around a candidate to be able to get what we want. Because Biden got in office off the strip of the backs of Black people. Black people showed up and voted more in 2020 than ever before.
And I'm
Democratic voting bloc. So
he said that on the show. Black people, you have basically said you have put me in office, and you have fought for me to put me here, and I'm going to fight for you. And he has completely dropped the ball. So they say things like that to get our vote, and then they do nothing. And that's where the frustration I feel like for a lot of Black people come from.
I think that there are certain things that have been done. I think that he needs to do more. When he talks about ending the federal mandates around like marijuana and decriminalizing marijuana, that is something that is going to directly impact a lot of Black people. And there's more.
Okay, so and I understand.
And we don't have time for like the whole thing. But what I'm saying is, it's not just president. So when we talk about voting, we can't just talk about the federal government. And there is other ways in which we can get into politics. What I've said is that is one tool in the toolbox of liberation. We can't let go of that ballot. You have to be able to cast in that ballot because we vote on issues. We vote on money that's allocated in our communities. Right now in the state of Ohio, where we have our state has one of the highest rates of infant mortality and Black maternal mortality. And one of the things that you got people at the state house is fighting for, that they want to put on the ballot, is can doula care be covered by Medicaid? So that Black women, when they're in the hospital, if they can't afford a doula, they have one. That's something you can vote for. You can vote for people.
Now, my question for this will be, because I'm looking for it, because we've seen things done specifically for other groups of people. Okay, we've seen that. So when I'm saying that a lot of things that you're talking about will be great for Black people, but does it only benefit us, or does it benefit everybody?
It benefits everybody.
I'm looking at something that, what are you going to do for Black people that only and directly benefit us, not anybody else?
And I think that comes with Black people and how we organize, how we show up, what we do, and we come together and actually hold them accountable and ask for something as an entire platform. And there are organizations that are doing that work, that are advocating. Movement for Black Lives is an amazing organization. They have presented a Black agenda to the federal government. They need more Black people to be educated on what that Black agenda is and how it is to help us and to allocate more funding, to give us more resources, to actually address a lot of the systemic inequalities. What we are seeing right now in history is at the federal level, by bits and pieces, certain things are being implemented by bits and pieces. I believe that if we are able to come together and educate each other on the political process, and we are actually advocating for it, and we talk about it, and we use our platform and our base, then we will actually be able to get it passed. A lot of times when we talk about what other groups have gotten, it is because they organized and they came together.
I don't completely agree with that.
I don't either.
When it comes to because we don't even see Asians come out as a whole and really vote like that. The problem with that is why other countries have such an advantage is America does not want any problems with Asia. So if something is going on with Asians over here in America and we don't put an end to this, we don't want to have to deal with those motherfuckers. Well, actually, over there. We don't want to have to lose. We don't want to have to lose money, or you know what I'm saying, or any of that type of shit. Because money,
Asian hate is at an all-time high. We're seeing more Chinese people in this country be killed because of racism.
Okay, so
not
higher than Black.
Not higher than Black people.
No, I'm not saying it's higher than Black people.
So why is
how
the
many
fact
they
that they get an Asian
before we have them to protect us?
And then listen, not even just that, but Obama, he signed into law the Blue Lives Law, which protected police from whatever kind of criminal activity. But when the police are the ones doing shit to us, There's no law for Black Americans getting fucked up.
Yes, we are trying to pass the George Floyd Act.
Why are we trying?
Because we have
because
to
the Asians didn't organize a goddamn
thing.
Did, but what did they organize?
They organized.
What?
That's what I'm trying to explain. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, because I followed this and I never seen a bunch of Asians marching and doing shit.
But because there's more than one way to organize. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It makes me sad that we have not actually done enough political education in our community on how and what it means to mobilize. What I'm talking about is how we are lobbying, when we actually are owning businesses and stuff in our community, and we collectively go to DC together and we are lobbying as a whole, when we are actually putting pressure on the government in different ways. Black people, yes, do we lobby for things? Absolutely, but Black people also.
We had a whole civil rights movement to show that we were being fucked with and oppressed, and it still did nothing. We're still where we've only been allowed to vote for what, 50 years?
I agree with that. The Voting Rights Act was passed, and at the same time, we also, as Black people, we oftentimes open our doors. We also help everyone else, but we also have to
we need to stop caping for everybody else. So that's what we need to stop doing.
We also co-sign a lot of stuff for a lot of other ethnic groups, but I'm not gonna sit up here
and
act
bullshit.
Like other ethnic groups haven't also done the work. They do the work in a different way. They have done work in their own communities, in their own.
Okay, so my thing is, since we have been in slavery, we are no longer slaves. We're talking the civil rights movement in the 60s. So we're talking 50, 60. So in 50, 60 years, we still have not been able to lobby to get an act passed against a hate crime bill passed for us that the Asians could do in a matter of weeks.
What I agree with you. There's the George Floyd Act the George Floyd Anti-Lynching Act should have been signed. It should have been signed, especially after all that stuff came out. What I'm saying is, us as Black people, we have to continue to press on. We have to continue to organize. Organizing isn't just marching in the streets.
Correct.
We do, and Black people do lobby. Black people are lobbyists.
I agree. I agree.
But I'm saying, at a greater scale, we as a Black collective really have to come together. A lot of times we're in a lot of separate groups. We have 3 or 4 different movements that was happening in 2020. We got to come together. We have to educate each other on what it is in that political process. How do we get a bill passed and really go and apply pressure and to hold them accountable? Because I agree with you. Should the Biden administration be doing more for Black people, knowing that Black people got him in office? Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that at all.
I feel like that's a trick we consistently fall for.
We can do more, but us not voting at all, spreading that message, that's going to have us in a worse position than we are now.
And this is my
tactics and tools that we can apply, but we can't sit up.
They're not working. They're not working. So when they always say that we need the Black vote, we need the Black vote to get us in, and then you basically tell us you need us. And then we say, okay, boom, we're going to rally behind you, get you in there. And year after year, term after term, we're told the same goddamn things, and we get nothing.
And what I'm saying
so in my opinion is, since we keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and it's not working, let's try something different. You know what? You want us to vote for you? Well, this is what we need. This is what if we don't get this, we're not voting for you. If you're not even talking about any of this shit that we want, we are not voting for you. Well, I'm so tired. We are being pimped for our votes every 4 goddamn years. Every 2 years, they're pimping the shit out of us. So what do? We just keep voting, and keep getting nothing. I know so many Black people who say, I just vote just because. I'm like, yo, what do you want in return for your vote? Nothing. I just want my voice heard. That doesn't even make sense.
But that's what I'm
by
saying.
Not voting for them.
No. Because when you don't vote for them, then you're not holding anybody accountable. Because this is how it works.
Okay.
Person is elected into office. They're elected by votes, correct? So if I am a voter, I call their office, they're going to take my call. Their aide is going to answer that phone. They're going to say, this is what she's upset about. I call enough times. I get 50 of my friends to call. They're going to answer. If I'm not a voter and I call their office and I'm like, hey, I want you to do this because you're in my community, they're not answering. Because at the end of the day, it's like, when you at a job, you're going to listen to the person who employs you, the person who employs these. And that's how we have to think about voting. The people who are employing these people are voters. Our vote is us employing them. And so if we withdraw our vote, that means we ain't employed. We don't employ them no more. So they don't have to listen to us. What I think is
they're not listening to us already.
We have to continue to apply pressure. It is us calling. It is us showing up. It is us letting them know, hey, yes, so we got you in office for these 4 years, but if you don't do this, you're not getting back in office no more.
Correct.
And it's us going to DC, but it's also us, like you said, starting locally. Are we showing up at them school board meetings? Are we showing up at that mayoral race? Are we showing up? Are we joining these other boards? I said it's one tool in a toolbox of liberation. It's not the only thing. It is not the only thing, but it is a powerful tool because oftentimes, especially locally, we are voting on issues. We are getting money that can be sent down to our community. When we sit up here and we wonder why so many different types of businesses and chambers of commerce and things like that, those things are in place because these are people in office that have been elected that are then pushing for those agendas. It is us showing up to our state house. Do we know who our governor is? Do we know who our secretary of state is? Y'all are in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a commonwealth. The way the Constitution can be ratified is a lot simpler than ours can be in Ohio. I work in reproductive justice. I work in politics. Sometimes I was getting frustrated with some of my coworkers in PA because I got coworkers in PA because I'm like, yo, you mean to tell me that this is all it takes to change our state constitution? Hey, all of y'all need to be out here. All of y'all need to be out here, whether it's on the front lines, making phone calls, calling the state legislature. Y'all need to be raising money to get this stuff on the ballot so people can vote for it. Y'all are a commonwealth. And that's what frustrates me about our school system because it doesn't teach the political process in a way of how you can use it for actual political power. Voting
but I feel like a lot of the generations before us don't do the same thing either. I feel like we can't and shouldn't count on those schools. But I feel like as the generations before us, mothers, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, all of that stuff, they haven't really told us anything too much about politics either.
And that's unfortunate. And like I come from my grandmother taught me about a lot of things with politics. She's the one who sat me down and let me understand that, hey, this is a Voting Rights Act. This is how this Voting Rights Act got into place. This is why we need to do this. This is how it started. First, it started where, they let black, I think it was men, they could vote. Then it was like white women, and then it was this, and then it was like each group, and then it went down to 18-year-olds, and then she was able to sit down and go through with those history lessons and telling me like, hey, this is the process, this is how we do it. She took me to vote with her. She explained to me the ballot. A judge, for example, we vote for our judges. A lot of us get upset about mass incarceration. We can vote for our local judges. We vote for them because to get on the federal stage, you have had to be the local judge before. You got to be appointed, but that means you already had to have served as a judge at a district level or at a local level. I found that out from family and different people in my community. So I agree with you. I found it out at church. Yes, it can't just be the schools, but we have to use whatever platform we have to do actual political education. And that's what Black Panthers Party was doing when they were teaching about like, this is how it's go back to Schoolhouse Rock. This is how a bill becomes a bill. This right. You write a letter because it's not just voting, but voting, you can't abandon it. You have to do all these things with it, especially when you say you care about your community. Because when you want money and resources in your community, it comes by voting.
Well, I feel like holding the vote hostage in a way. If you say you need me the way that you say you need me, then you're going to do what we say. And because you're not,
they're gonna lie.
And there are certain, what I will say, there are certain things that this administration has done. It wasn't specific where it was like, this is just for Black people.
Well that's what we need because they do that for other groups of people.
Yes, that has happened for other groups of people. However, there has been policies that have been enacted that will support and help Black people.
No, it won't.
The student loan stuff, it will help Black people.
But it's not going. It's not going to close the. It's not going to close the wealth gap.
It sure ain't.
That's what it's not going to do.
It will diminish the wealth gap.
How?
It will not.
How?
It will.
How does it even diminish it when the white people they're getting the same breaks as we are?
Because
so we're right back where we started.
Student loans, what they were saying is that for black people have more student loan debt than white people.
Yeah, exactly. So I have more student loan debt. I'm still going to be in debt while that 10,000, 20,000 is going to clear your shit. I'm still fucked up.
It is still getting us closer to what it is that we're fighting for, because we also have widen the public service loan forgiveness. They also have done some things with if you get a Pell Grant. Like, so we have to think it's more strategic. And I'm not saying that it is
what they know was going to close that wealth gap is reparations, cutting that damn check, and that's not something that they.
And
really
I think that we can get to reparations, but I think that's something that we have to stay consistent with. And
I agree, and there's a lot of movements going on right now that are pushing for reparations.
Yep. And we have to join those movements.
Anyway, y'all gave all this money to Ukraine. Where's our reparations? We should have been got our money.
So when they talk about, not just the money to Ukraine, but even over the pandemic and all of this money, they were just able to print money, just pulling money out their ass for when they needed it for. But when we talk about, what about black people? You know what I'm saying? Even with the Ukrainians, and you know what I mean? Y'all bringing these people in and giving them free hotel rooms, giving them thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? For free room and board, all of this kind of just drop, even from the border. This is what they are doing. They're giving all of these other groups of people tangible things. But then when the black people, the Americans, the motherfuckers who actually pay taxes in this motherfucker.
And got you in office. Let's not forget that.
You act like we ain't even saying nothing.
And that's where it is our job. We have to continue as a collective to apply pressure. It's not enough for us to just vote. It is also okay to say that you're going to vote them out next term. It is also okay to find people in your community to run against these people.
Well, I for one, I am not in the business of voting for the lesser of two evils. So both of these motherfuckers is fucked up. They both got some fucked up shit with them, and I don't want to be a part of this. I'm sick
and
this
that's
one out.
Right. If you didn't want to vote in 2020 for those two, understand that's your right. But there's also other elections. That's not the only thing that's on the ballot.
Correct. But what I do know is, and I don't know how, because I'm not a politician guru or nothing like that, but we do know that the popular vote, if more people in America vote for you, that does not mean that you win.
Mm-hmm. It's electoral college.
Correct. So it's like, well, okay, if the majority of us wanted this person in office, and electoral college was like, hold up, nah, this is the one right here. And to me, that's very difficult for people who aren't into politics like that, for them to wrap their mind around. How can more people listen? If we've got 10 people in the classroom and 8 of them voted for Charlie and 2 of them voted for Cindy, well, Charlie should win. Then the teacher won't come in and say, well, I have the last say so, and I say Cindy wins.
And that is where our vote still matters, because the people who are in charge is oftentimes that's Congress. Those are our congressional leaders. So right now we got an election going on where we're voting for senators in our different states. We have an election. So as I'm saying, it makes me sad that we do not know the full political education, and that's not what we are taught. Because if we are taught and how this system actually works, then we'll be able to more effectively play that game and be involved and be able to get the things that we want. I agree we should have reparations. Absolutely.
Well, why do you think that the government, why do you think they're dragging their feet on us getting a hate crime bill passed for us?
Because we ain't ever been about nothing. They don't care about us.
If the Asians are, because I don't think they lobby that much. And again, black people have been dealing with this for decades. Mm-hmm. Why are they dragging their feet on something that's so blatant to see?
Because they don't want us to be on top. And we hard to stop. With all the stuff they've been doing, everything they've been putting against us, we are hard to stop. So if they give us a fighting chance, they're done. That's my
So it's not that they can't just we keep saying this should have been passed. This should have been done. Why isn't it being done? How much harder do we have to go to be like, hey, we need a hate crime bill for us?
We have to put the right people in office so things can pass. A lot of this stuff right now isn't passing because of Congress.
I don't ever think there's ever going to be the right people in place.
Me
You may
neither.
have a person, you may have a person here, but you don't have this person over here. We don't got enough seats, or the Senate has control, and it's basically, you know, or I'm sorry, the Republicans control the Senate, and you know, all of this kind of shit. So I don't feel like at one time we're going to have all the perfect pieces in place for us to get what it is that
And
we
if we
need to
keep,
get.
if we have that mentality, we never will get it.
But I'm just saying that's always been the case.
That's
always been the case.
Also,
again, we can go back into history, and nothing has been specifically done for us, and that's not going to benefit everybody else. Just benefiting Black people and Black people only. Why can't we get anything to pass for us for this? And it's because we have to put more pressure on. We got to put more pressure on. Well, goddamn, how long are we gonna have to do this shit? I thought this is what our ancestors and all of that shit fought for.
No,
Everybody said, well, they fought for you to be able to be free, and we're still not that, because they're still dragging their feet on shit that we know they know that we need to have, but they don't want to give it to us.
At every level, there's a new fight. Our ancestors got us.
This seems to be the same fight from the last 400 years.
Our ancestors got us to one point, and now we have to continue to carry that sword. There wasn't always a Civil Rights Act and a Voting Rights Act. Slavery wasn't always abolished. There was oftentimes that you had all these other racist laws and Jim Crow. Every generation has done its part. Is it tiring? Yes, absolutely.
So our fight now is to what?
Our fight now is to get that reparations passed. Our fight now is to really claim our political power. I think in the year of 2022, we should be able to have all black everything.
I think you alluded to it before, but more than political power, what's his name? Dr. Claude Anderson. The numero uno thing that we need, is you're correct, is the economic power, and that comes first. And then everything else after that.
Economic power comes with political power.
But it goes economic, then political. Because you gotta have the paper before you can get the power. If you ain't got no paper, you ain't getting no power.
If you want to start a business, you have to go through the government to start a business. You gotta go to your Secretary of State's website to start a business. That's
not to get the money.
If you want a business loan, you go.
If you want a loan. But listen, I could have motherfucking $150,000 from whatever else that I saved up from what I was doing. I got the money, so I have the economics part of this, which I needed first, and now I have to go through the political part of it to make the rest of this come into fruition. But I got the paper. I didn't need your loan. I found a way to get my people to come together, and we all put our money into X, Y, and Z. And now if
we put our money in the bank, that bank is backed by the FDIC. It's all politics. You can't get away from it. A business, you have to go through the government to get your business registered. You got to pay.
I agree.
On that
I
money.
agree 100% with that.
All of that.
But if you don't have an economic base first, all that political shit means nothing for you. Well, I ain't got no money to put behind my political views or what it is I want to do. What's the point?
But you can gain money. You can gain money.
By how?
Entrepreneurship, cooperative economics, putting our money together. However it is that you make.
So we get that, but can we agree that the economics part of this is something that comes before anything else?
I think we got to do it at the same time. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can do it simultaneously. I don't think we can do it without it. Because at the end of the day, oftentimes everything that you need, you are still going through the government. Anytime you go through the
so a lot of these politicians are backed by a lot of big businesses, correct? Mm-hmm. So if these big businesses were to pull their money, what do these politicians do now? They look, our economic base is fucked up now. My economic base is fucked up, and now what do I have? I don't have no money.
You still can run for office.
But you don't have no. And they said that was part of the reason why Kamala dropped out, and other candidates. I simply don't have the money anymore. Mm-hmm. But if you've got the money, then you can go ahead and have your, go ahead and get your political power.
Yes, but the way
it's not a same time thing. It's not a same time thing, in my opinion. You got to have one first, and then you get the other.
You have to be able to raise money. That was raising money. They were raising that money. Most campaigns are backed by other people giving them money.
Correct.
So you have to be able to raise the money.
So and without having that money, how strong are you as a politician?
You ain't.
It depends on where you running. And
you ain't.
You gotta have some money back in that, no matter what.
You have to have some money back in it, but it all don't have to come from a corporation. Right now, in the state of Ohio,
regardless of where the money comes from, you need that. You need that economic
that
power
money
first.
comes from. But I'm saying that money comes from people. For example, right now in the state of Ohio, in our Senate race, we got J.D. Vance against Tim Ryan. J.D. Vance is a Republican. The Senate, they backing him, giving him so much money. The Republicans giving him money, hella money. Tim Ryan has more money, but Tim Ryan isn't getting money from the Democratic Party. Like, got very little. Most of his money has come from individual donors who are donating less than $200. It is people that have been sending in $5, $10, $50 checks that has actually got him to be able to have more money in his race as he's running than J.D. Vance. That money came, though. It wasn't that he had all this money, that he had his business. It was he got in the race and people believed in him. And so people have donated this money to him. So oftentimes in these campaigns, yes, you got big businesses and things like that. And then you have his campaign money from all small donors.
Like I said before, how you get the money is really irrelevant to me, but you better have it. And if you don't have it, then you're fucked. That's just basically no matter what you are as a politician, how much political power you feel like you have.
It depends.
If you have no money, in my opinion, the way that I feel is no money, political power diminishes.
Well, my question is, because I'm not very, I don't know a lot about the whole voting like she was saying, but like I would see Trump commercials and it'd be like paid for by the taxpayers' money. Bitch, I never signed my money up for that.
Well, that's what he called it in that particular way, because they have political action committees and they name their political action committees.
So they named it taxpayer money?
No, that wasn't taxpayer money. No.
They call it what they want to call it.
He calls it what.
Look, I was upset about that. Wait a minute, hold on. I need my taxpayer money back. How you giving it to Trump?
Well, listen, y'all.
We got hotels and all type of stuff. And you taking my little bit of money and giving it to no. I was not okay with that.
No. There's political action committees and different things, and they put so much on some of those ads. And Trump lied. He was saying all type of crazy stuff.
They all motherfucking lie. But I cleared 4 hours for this show, 4 hours and some change, and we are down to the last 27 minutes of it. The memory that I have, but. Again,
I probably need to go feed my baby. So
no, it's all good. It's all good. So I just want to say I appreciate everybody for hopping on. We down to our last 4. I think we have seven people on here at one point in time. We're down to the last 4. But again, I appreciate everybody for hopping on my show, my podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong. Podcast, Candoria. It will be nice to see you again soon. You know what I mean? Actually sitting next to me, but we'll see how that goes. You know what I mean? Because, you know how shit goes, you know what I'm saying, when we're actually together. Marion, I appreciate you very much for being on again on the part 2 of this. That was all over the place, you know what I'm saying, but it's all good. And because you were on, you brought your friend Alana. Am I saying that correctly? Alana? Okay, Alana. All right, so again, I appreciate this. I talked to Alana before about actually coming back to join us again when we do an episode, when we talk about politics, you know what I'm saying. So I think that'd be a good show, you know what I mean? Get some other people from around the way on there, maybe some lawyers, some other politicians, if I can get them on the show. We'll go from there. But again, y'all, I definitely appreciate you for joining the show. Until next time, don't forget to smile. What's a good look?
All right, y'all.